choosing a camping spot.
So, we're planning a camping trip, but I'm overwhelmed by all the options for campsites.
Yeah, it can be tough. What are you looking for in a campsite?
Ideally, something with some privacy, close to water, and with decent hiking trails nearby.
Have you looked at name of state park? They usually have well-maintained sites and fit your criteria.
I haven't. I'll check it out. Are reservations usually necessary?
Definitely. Especially during peak season, book well in advance.
Good to know. Thanks for the tip.
No problem. Also, read reviews online. They can give you a good sense of the campsite's pros and cons.
Choosing between hotels and Airbnb. I'm torn between booking a hotel or an Airbnb for my upcoming trip. What are your thoughts?
It really depends on your needs and preferences. Hotels offer convenience and amenities like room service and a concierge.
That's true. But Airbnbs can be more affordable, especially for longer stays or larger groups.
And you get a more local experience, staying in a neighborhood rather than a touristy area.
That's a big plus for me. I like to immerse myself in the culture.
But Airbnbs can be less predictable. The quality can vary, and you might not have the same level of support as a hotel.
I guess it's a trade-off. I'll have to weigh the pros and cons.
Read reviews carefully before booking an Airbnb. They can be very helpful.
Dealing with travel scams. I'm always worried about getting scammed when I travel. Any tips for avoiding them?
Be wary of overly friendly strangers offering help, especially with your luggage or directions.
That makes sense. I always try to be polite, but I guess that can be a weakness.
Also, be careful with ATMs. Use ones inside banks or well-lit areas.
Good point. I usually just use whatever's closest.
And always negotiate prices before getting into a taxi or rickshaw.
I've heard about that. They try to overcharge tourists.
Exactly. And trust your gut. If something feels off, it probably is.
Discussing ecotourism destinations.
I'm really interested in ecotourism. Any recommendations for destinations that prioritize sustainability? Costa Rica is a classic. They're leaders in ecotourism, with tons of rainforests and wildlife sanctuaries. That sounds amazing. What kind of activities can you do there? Hiking, zip lining, wildlife spotting, and visiting sustainable farms. They're all about protecting the environment. That's exactly what I'm looking for. Are there any other places that come to mind? Belize is another great option, especially for snorkeling and diving. They have the second largest barrier reef in the world. Wow, I didn't know that. I'll definitely research both of those and look for eco lodges. They're designed to minimize their impact on the environment.
Discussing glamping experiences.
I'm looking for a unique travel experience. I've heard about glamping. What's it like?
It's like camping, but with more luxury. Think comfortable beds, private bathrooms, and sometimes even gourmet meals.
That sounds amazing. I love the idea of being in nature without sacrificing comfort.
Exactly. You can find glamping sites in all sorts of locations, from forests to deserts to beaches.
Are there different types of glamping accommodations?
Definitely. You can stay in yurts, tree houses, safari tents, or even renovated airstreams.
Wow, that's a lot of variety. I'm definitely intrigued.
Just be prepared to pay a bit more than traditional camping, but it's worth it for the experience.
First-time cruise jitters.
I'm so excited for our cruise next month, but also a little nervous. It's my first one.
Don't worry, it's amazing. What are you nervous about?
Mostly just feeling trapped or bored on the ship. And getting seasick.
There's so much to do on board, you won't be bored. As for seasickness, pack some Dramamine or ginger candies. They really help.
Good idea. I'll add those to my list. Any other tips for a newbie cruiser?
Definitely check out the daily schedule. There are shows, activities, and even classes. Plan ahead.
Okay, that's helpful. I'll do some research on the activities offered.
Also, don't overpack. You can always do laundry on board if needed.
Planning a foodie trip.
I'm planning a trip solely based on food. Where should I go?
Oh, that's my kind of trip. Italy is always a good choice, especially if you love pasta and pizza.
Italy is definitely on the list, but I'm looking for something a little different this time.
How about Southeast Asia? Thailand, Vietnam, and Malaysia have incredible street food scenes.
That sounds amazing. I love spicy food.
Then you'll be in heaven. Just be prepared for some serious heat.
I can handle it. Any specific dishes I should try?
In Thailand, definitely try pad thai and green curry. In Vietnam, pho and banh mi are must-haves.
Planning a themed vacation, wine regions. I'm thinking of planning a vacation centered around wine. Where should I go?
Napa Valley in California is a classic, with beautiful vineyards and world-class wines.
Napa is great, but I'm looking for something a little more adventurous.
How about Tuscany in Italy? Rolling hills, charming villages, and amazing Chianti.
That sounds perfect. I've always wanted to go to Tuscany.
And don't forget about the Bordeaux region in France. It's known for its Cabernet Sauvignon and Merlot.
France is definitely on my list too. So many options.
Definitely research the wineries and book tours in advance, especially during peak season. Vacationing with children.
We're planning a family vacation, but I'm worried about keeping the kids entertained. Any tips? Think about their ages and interests. Theme parks are always a hit, but can be exhausting. My kids are 6 and 9. They like swimming and exploring. A beach vacation could be perfect. Or consider a national park with easy hiking trails and ranger programs. That's a good idea. I hadn't thought about a national park. And pack plenty of snacks and activities for downtime. Long car rides can be tough. Definitely. I'm already dreading the travel time. Remember to build in some downtime too. Don't overschedule yourselves.
Visiting historical sites respectfully.
I'm planning to visit some historical sites on my next trip, but I want to be respectful. Any advice? Definitely research the site beforehand to understand its significance and any specific rules or customs. That's a good idea. I usually just show up and wing it. Dress appropriately, especially if it's a religious site. Cover your shoulders and knees. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. Be mindful of noise levels and avoid being disruptive. It's a place of history and reflection. That makes sense. I'll try to be quiet and respectful. And never touch or climb on artifacts or structures. They're fragile and irreplaceable.
Choosing a travel companion.
So I'm thinking of going to Italy next year. Would you be interested in coming along?
Italy, wow, that sounds amazing. I've always wanted to go. But are you sure you want to travel with me? I can be a bit disorganized.
That's okay. I'm pretty organized, so we can balance each other out. The important thing is that we have similar interests.
True. What kind of things are you planning to do?
Mostly historical sites, art museums, and maybe some cooking classes. And of course, plenty of gelato.
That sounds perfect. I'm definitely in. Let's start planning.
Great. Let's meet next week to brainstorm.
Choosing a travel destination based on activity.
I really want to take a trip, but I'm not sure where to go. I want something active.
What kind of activities are you thinking of? Hiking, biking, water sports?
Definitely hiking. Maybe some rock climbing too.
Have you considered the Swiss Alps? The hiking there is incredible.
The Swiss Alps, huh? That sounds amazing, but maybe a bit expensive.
True. What about somewhere in the U.S., like Yosemite or the Grand Canyon?
Yosemite! That's a great idea. I'll look into it.
Comparing hotel chains.
I'm trying to decide which hotel chain to book with for my business trip. Any preferences? It depends on what you're looking for. Marriott is usually pretty reliable and consistent. I've stayed at Marriott's before. They're decent, but a bit pricey. Hilton is another good option. They often have good loyalty programs. I'll check out Hilton. I'm looking for something with a decent gym and maybe a pool. Both chains usually have those amenities. Read the reviews carefully to make sure they're up to par. Good call. Thanks for the advice.
Dealing with lost items. Oh no, I think I lost my phone at the airport.
Oh no, that's awful. Did you check with Lost and Found?
Not yet, I just realized it was missing. I'm heading there now.
Good luck. If they don't have it, maybe try using a Find My Phone app if you have one installed.
I do, but it's dead. I didn't charge it before I left.
Well, hopefully, someone turned it in. If not, you'll need to contact your service provider to suspend your account.
Okay, thanks. I'll do that if I have to. Dealing with unexpected travel expenses.
I'm already over budget on my trip to London. I didn't expect things to be so expensive.
London can be pricey. Have you tried looking for free activities, like visiting parks or museums with free admission?
I've done a few of those, but food and transportation are really adding up.
Try cooking some of your own meals if you have access to a kitchen, and use public transportation. It's usually cheaper than taxis.
I'm staying in a hotel, so no kitchen, but I'll definitely use the tube more often.
Also look for deals and discounts online. Many attractions offer cheaper tickets if you book in advance.
That's a great idea. I'll check that out. Thanks.
Discussing ecotourism.
I'm planning a trip to Costa Rica, and I really want to make it as eco-friendly as possible.
That's great. Costa Rica is a great place for ecotourism. Have you looked into any specific lodges or tours?
I found a few eco lodges that look promising. They focus on sustainability and local communities.
That's a good start. Remember to be mindful of your impact on the environment while you're there.
Definitely. I'm bringing my own reusable water bottle and trying to avoid single-use plastics.
Also, try to support local businesses and choose tours that are responsible and respectful of the wildlife.
I'll keep that in mind. Thanks for the tips.
Discussing staycation ideas.
I can't afford a big vacation this year. I'm thinking of just having a staycation.
Staycations can be great. Have you thought about what you want to do?
Not really. I just want to relax and do things I normally don't have time for.
How about exploring different neighborhoods in your city, or visiting local museums and attractions?
That's a good idea. I've never really explored my own city that much.
You could also try a new restaurant, go to a spa, or just spend time reading and relaxing at home.
Those all sound perfect. I'm starting to get excited about my staycation now.
Enjoy! Sometimes the best vacations are the ones closest to home.
Discussing travel photography gear. I'm trying to decide what camera gear to bring on my trip to Iceland. It's such a photogenic place.
Oh, lucky you. I've heard it's incredible. Are you bringing a DSLR? Or just using your phone?
I have a DSLR, but I'm worried about carrying all the lenses. Maybe just a versatile zoom lens?
A good zoom lens is a must. And don't forget a sturdy tripod for those northern lights shots.
Good point. A tripod is essential. What about filters?
A polarizer filter can be helpful for landscapes, and maybe an ND filter for long exposures.
Okay, I'll add those to my list. Thanks for the advice.
No problem. Happy shooting. Post-vacation blues.
Ugh, back to reality. I'm already missing Japan.
Tell me about it. Post-vacation blues are the worst. I wish I was still on that beach in Thailand.
I know. Everything here feels so ordinary now.
I find looking at the photos helps a little. And planning the next trip.
That's a good idea. Where are you thinking of going next?
I'm not sure yet, but I'm open to suggestions. Somewhere warm, definitely.
Maybe the Caribbean? I've always wanted to go.
Travel insurance claims.
I had to cancel my trip due to illness. Now I'm trying to file a claim with my travel insurance. That's a bummer. Make sure you have all the necessary documentation, like doctor's notes and cancellation confirmations. I have the doctor's note, but I'm not sure about the cancellation confirmations. Where do I get those? You should get them from the airline and the hotel you booked. They need to confirm that you canceled and any refunds you received. Okay, I'll contact them. Is there anything else I need to know? Read the terms and conditions of your policy carefully. There might be specific deadlines or requirements for filing a claim. Good point. Thanks for the advice.
Choosing a destination based on climate.
I'm planning a vacation, but I'm torn. I want sunshine, but not unbearable heat.
That's tricky. When are you planning to go?
Probably in July.
Okay, so avoid the Mediterranean then. It'll be scorching. Maybe somewhere like the Pacific Northwest?
I hadn't thought of that. Is it usually sunny in July there?
Relatively, it's their dry season and the temperatures are pleasant. Plus, beautiful scenery.
That sounds promising. I'll look into it. Thanks.
Choosing a destination based on interests, history.
I'm really into history. Where would you recommend I travel for my next vacation?
That depends on what kind of history fascinates you. Ancient civilizations, medieval Europe, or something else.
I'm particularly interested in Roman history.
Then Rome is a must. But also consider places like Pompeii, Herculaneum, and even Hadrian's Wall in the UK.
Hadrian's Wall? I didn't realize there were Roman ruins there.
Absolutely. It's a fantastic example of Roman engineering and a beautiful area to explore.
Wow, that's going on the list. Thanks.
Choosing between hotels and Airbnb.
I'm planning a trip, and I can't decide whether to book a hotel or an Airbnb. What are the pros and cons?
Hotels offer consistent service, amenities like daily cleaning, and on-site restaurants.
But they can be expensive and impersonal.
Exactly. Airbnb can be more affordable, especially for larger groups, and offers a more local experience.
But you have to do your own cleaning, and there's less support if something goes wrong.
True. It depends on your priorities. Do you value convenience and service, or affordability and a unique experience?
I think I'm leaning towards Airbnb for the space and local feel.
Comparing different types of cruises.
I'm thinking about going on a cruise, but I'm overwhelmed by the options. River cruise, ocean cruise, expedition cruise. Where do I even start?
It depends on what you're looking for. River cruises are more intimate and focus on specific regions.
And ocean cruises?
Ocean cruises are larger, visit multiple destinations, and have more onboard activities.
What about expedition cruises?
Expedition cruises are for adventure seekers, often visiting remote areas like Antarctica or the Galapagos.
Okay, that helps. I'm probably looking for something more relaxed, so maybe an ocean or river cruise?
Exactly. Think about what you want to see and do.
Dealing with post-vacation blues.
I'm back from vacation and feeling so down. It's like the real world is hitting me hard. I know the feeling. Post-vacation blues are common. Start by unpacking and organizing your photos. I've done that, but it just reminds me of being away. Then try to incorporate some of your vacation experiences into your daily life. Cook a dish you learned to make, listen to local music, or wear a souvenir. That's a nice idea. I did buy some spices. Also, plan your next trip. Having something to look forward to can help ease the transition. Okay, I'll start browsing travel websites. Thanks.
Debating the merits of staycations.
I'm feeling burnt out and need a vacation, but I can't afford to travel far. Maybe a staycation?
Staycations can be great. They're budget-friendly and less stressful.
But is it really a vacation if I'm still in my own city?
It can be. The key is to disconnect from your usual routine, explore local attractions you've never visited, try new restaurants, and relax.
That's true. I always say I'll visit that museum, but never do.
Exactly. Treat it like a real vacation. No chores, no work emails, just relaxation and exploration.
Okay, I'm starting to see the appeal. Maybe I'll give it a try. Discussing responsible wildlife tourism.
I'd love to see elephants in the wild, but I'm worried about contributing to unethical tourism practices.
That's a valid concern. Research the tour operators carefully. Look for ones that prioritize animal welfare and conservation.
What should I look for specifically?
Avoid places that offer elephant rides or allow you to interact directly with the animals. Look for sanctuaries that rescue and rehabilitate elephants.
Good point. I want to observe them in their natural habitat without causing harm.
Exactly. Also, be mindful of your impact on the environment. Choose eco-friendly accommodations and avoid single-use plastics.
I'll definitely keep that in mind. Thanks for the advice.
Discussing travel photography styles. I want to improve my travel photography. Do you have any tips on finding my own style?
Absolutely. Think about what you want to convey with your photos. Are you drawn to landscapes, portraits, or street photography?
I think I like capturing the essence of a place, the everyday life.
Then focus on street photography and documentary-style shots. Try capturing candid moments and interactions.
That sounds interesting. Any advice on composition?
Learn about the rule of thirds, leading lines, and framing. Experiment with different angles and perspectives.
I'll definitely look into those techniques. Thanks. Planning a multi-generational family trip. We're planning a family trip with grandparents, parents, and kids. Any tips for keeping everyone happy?
That's a challenge. Choose a destination with activities for all ages and abilities.
Like what?
Consider a resort with a kids club, a pool, and easy access to attractions. Or maybe a cruise with different activity options.
Good ideas. What about accommodation?
Rent a large house or villa so everyone has their own space. Or book connecting rooms at a hotel.
That makes sense. And activities?
Plan a mix of group activities and individual time. Don't overschedule and be flexible. Remember, it's about making memories together.
Preparing for a safari adventure.
I'm finally going on a safari. I'm so excited, but also a bit nervous. What should I be prepared for?
That's amazing. First, check if you need any specific vaccinations or medications.
Good point. I'll schedule a doctor's appointment.
Also, pack light-colored, breathable clothing. Tsetse flies are attracted to dark colors.
Oh, I didn't know that. Thanks for the tip.
And definitely bring a good pair of binoculars and a hat. Sun protection is crucial.
Binoculars are a must. Anything else?
A good camera with a zoom lens to capture those incredible wildlife moments. Choosing a beach vacation destination.
I'm craving a beach vacation, but I'm overwhelmed by all the options. How do I choose a destination?
Think about what you're looking for. Do you want relaxation, adventure, or nightlife?
Definitely relaxation. Somewhere quiet and peaceful.
Consider smaller islands or secluded beaches. Maybe the Maldives or the Seychelles.
Those sound amazing, but probably out of my budget. Anything more affordable?
Look into beaches in Mexico or the Caribbean. Some are quieter than others. Research different resorts.
Good idea. I'll start researching. Thanks.
And don't forget to check the weather forecast for the time of year you're planning to go.
Choosing a travel destination with dietary restrictions. I'm planning a trip, but it's tough with my gluten intolerance. Where can I go where it's relatively easy to eat?
Italy can be surprisingly good. Many restaurants offer gluten-free pasta and pizza options now.
Really? I always thought Italy would be a nightmare for gluten-free.
It's improved a lot. Also, Southeast Asia, especially Thailand and Vietnam, often use rice noodles, which are naturally gluten-free.
That's a great idea. I love Thai food.
Just be careful about soy sauce. Some brands contain wheat. Always ask.
Good to know. Thanks for the tips.
No problem. Happy travels, and bon appetit.
Choosing between a cruise and a land-based vacation.
I'm debating between a cruise and a regular land vacation. What are the pros and cons of each?
Cruises are great for seeing multiple destinations without constantly packing and unpacking. Everything's taken care of.
That sounds appealing, but I've heard cruises can feel crowded and touristy.
They can be. Land vacations offer more flexibility and the chance to really immerse yourself in a culture.
True, I like the idea of exploring at my own pace.
But land vacations require more planning and effort. You're responsible for everything: transportation, accommodation, meals.
Yeah, that's the downside. So it really depends on what I'm looking for in a vacation.
Exactly. Do you want convenience or freedom?
Exploring national parks. I'm thinking of visiting a national park this summer. Which one would you recommend for a first-timer?
Yosemite is incredible, but it can get crowded. For something less busy, consider Acadia in Maine.
Acadia? I haven't heard of that one.
It's beautiful. Coastal scenery, hiking trails, and charming towns nearby.
Sounds perfect. What's the best way to get around?
You'll definitely need a car. Some parks have shuttle services, but a car gives you more flexibility.
Good to know. Any tips for avoiding crowds?
Visit during the shoulder season, spring or fall, and explore less popular trails.
Finding volunteer opportunities while traveling. I'd love to combine travel with volunteering. How do I find reputable organizations?
Do your research. Look for organizations with clear goals and transparent financials.
Okay. What kind of volunteer work is usually available?
It varies. Environmental conservation, community development, working with animals, lots of options.
That sounds great. How long do these programs typically last?
From a few days to several months, depending on the organization and project.
And what about costs? Do I have to pay to volunteer?
Some organizations charge a fee to cover accommodation and meals. Others are free, but you'll need to cover your own expenses.
Making the most of a staycation.
I can't afford a big vacation this year, so I'm planning a staycation. Any ideas for making it feel like a real getaway?
Absolutely. First, set clear boundaries. No work emails.
That's going to be tough, but I'll try.
Plan some activities you wouldn't normally do. Visit a museum, go to a local concert, or try a new restaurant.
That's a good idea. I always stick to the same old routines.
And treat yourself. Order takeout, get a massage, or just relax with a good book.
Sounds amazing. I think I can do that.
Create a vacation atmosphere. Put on some music, light candles, and enjoy the time off.
Planning a multi-city European trip.
I'm trying to plan a European trip, but I want to see so much. How do you even begin to plan a multi-city itinerary? Start by prioritizing your must-see cities. Then, consider transportation between them. Okay, makes sense. I'm thinking Paris, Rome, and Barcelona. What's the best way to get around? High-speed trains are often the fastest and most comfortable option. Look into Eurail passes if you're doing a lot of train travel. Eurail, got it. What about flights? Are they cheaper? Sometimes, but factor in airport transfers and security lines. Trains are often more convenient. That's a good point. And how long should I spend in each city? At least 3 to 4 days per city to really experience it. Otherwise, you'll just be rushing around.
Preparing for a hiking trip. I'm planning a hiking trip in the mountains. What kind of preparation should I do?
First, check the weather forecast and pack accordingly. Layers are key.
Okay, layers. What about gear?
Good hiking boots are essential, plus a comfortable backpack, plenty of water, and snacks.
Water and snacks. Got it. Anything else?
A map and compass, or a GPS device, are crucial. Don't rely solely on your phone.
That's a good point. I wouldn't have thought of that.
And tell someone where you're going and when you expect to be back, just in case.
Surviving long-haul flights.
Ugh, I'm dreading this 14-hour flight to Tokyo. Any tips for surviving it?
Definitely. Hydration is key. Drink tons of water. Avoid alcohol and caffeine.
Good point. I always forget about the water.
Also, get up and walk around every couple of hours. Prevents stiffness and DVT.
Right, stretching is important. What about entertainment?
Download movies or shows beforehand. The in-flight selection can be limited. And bring noise-canceling headphones.
Headphones are a must. Thanks for the advice. Hopefully, I can actually sleep a bit.
Try an eye mask and neck pillow too. Every little bit helps. Visiting theme parks on a budget.
I want to take my kids to a theme park, but those tickets are so expensive. Any tips for doing it on a budget?
Definitely. Look for discounted tickets online or through your employer. Sometimes you can find deals.
I'll check that out. What about food and drinks?
Pack your own. Theme park food is notoriously overpriced. Bring snacks and refillable water bottles.
Good idea. We always end up spending a fortune on food.
Also, try to go during the off-season or on weekdays. The crowds will be smaller and prices might be lower.
That makes sense. Thanks for the tips.
No problem. Have a magical time.
Airport security experiences.
I swear, airport security gets more and more complicated every year.
Tell me about it. I always forget to take my liquids out of my bag.
Me too. And then I have to stand there and repack everything while everyone stares at me.
I finally invested in TSA PreCheck. It's worth every penny.
I've been thinking about doing that. Does it really save that much time?
Absolutely. Shorter lines, no need to take off your shoes or belt. It's a game changer.
Okay, you've convinced me. I'm signing up as soon as I get home.
Choosing flight preferences. So, we need to book our flights. Window or aisle seat for you?
Definitely aisle. I hate feeling trapped, and I need to get up and stretch my legs every so often.
Makes sense. What about flight times? Red-eye, morning, or afternoon?
I prefer morning flights, if possible. Less chance of delays, usually.
Good point. Do you care about layovers? A direct flight is more expensive, but less hassle.
I'm willing to do one layover to save some money, but no more than that.
Okay, I'll start searching for flights with those preferences in mind.
Dream destination debates.
If you could go anywhere in the world, where would you go?
Oh, that's a hard one. I've always wanted to see Japan. The culture, the food, everything.
Japan is definitely on my list too, but I'm also drawn to the beaches of Thailand.
Thailand is amazing. Have you been before?
No, but I've heard so many good things. What about you? Have you been to Japan?
Not yet, but I'm saving up for it. Maybe next year.
Well, maybe we should both start planning and go together.
First-time cruise jitters.
I'm going on my first cruise next month. I'm so excited, but also a little nervous.
That's normal. Cruises are a lot of fun. What are you nervous about?
I don't know, just the whole experience. Being on a ship for days, the crowds.
Don't worry, you'll get used to it quickly. There's so much to do on board, you won't be bored.
I'm also worried about getting seasick.
Bring some motion sickness medication, just in case. But most modern cruise ships are very stable.
Okay, that makes me feel a little better, thanks.
Lost in translation. I tried ordering coffee in Spain, and it was a complete disaster. I ended up with something totally different.
Oh, I know that feeling. I once asked for water in Italy and accidentally ordered sparkling water, which I hate.
It's so embarrassing when you don't know the language. Do you try to learn a few basic phrases before you go?
I always try to learn hello, thank you, and please. It goes a long way.
I should probably start doing that. Do you use a translation app?
Yeah, Google Translate is a lifesaver, especially for reading menus.
Good call. I'll download it before my next trip.
Packing for a specific climate. I'm stressing about packing for Iceland. It's supposed to be cold and rainy.
Layers are your best friend. Think thermal underwear, fleece jackets, and a waterproof outer shell.
Right, layers. What about shoes? Hiking boots are a must, I assume.
Definitely waterproof hiking boots, and warm socks, wool or synthetic.
Okay, boots and layers. Anything else crucial for that kind of weather?
A hat, gloves, and a scarf are essential. And don't forget sunscreen, even on cloudy days.
Sunscreen in Iceland? I wouldn't have thought of that. Thanks for the tips.
The reflection off the snow can be surprisingly strong.
Pre-trip excitement.
I can't believe we're finally going to Italy. I'm so excited.
Me too. I've been dreaming about this trip for years. What are you most looking forward to?
Definitely the food. I want to try all the pasta and pizza I can get my hands on.
And the gelato. Don't forget the gelato. I'm also really excited to see the Colosseum.
Oh, yes, and the Trevi Fountain. I'm already picturing myself throwing a coin in.
Have you started packing yet? I'm terrible at packing light.
Not yet. I'm planning to start this weekend. Trying to decide what shoes to bring is always the hardest part.
The art of packing.
I always overpack. Do you have any packing tips?
Roll your clothes instead of folding them. It saves so much space.
I've heard that. I'll have to try it. Anything else?
Plan your outfits in advance. That way, you won't pack unnecessary items.
Good idea. I usually just throw things in last minute.
Also, use packing cubes. They help organize everything and compress your clothes.
Packing cubes. Got it. Thanks for the tips. Hopefully I can pack lighter next time. Travel journaling habits. Do you keep a travel journal when you go on vacation?
I try to. It's a great way to remember the little details you'd otherwise forget.
I've tried before, but I always struggle with what to write.
Don't overthink it. Just jot down your impressions, funny moments, or interesting conversations.
Do you write every day? Or just when something significant happens?
I aim for daily, even if it's just a few sentences. I also like to paste in ticket stubs and brochures.
That's a great idea. I might try that on my next trip. Thanks for the inspiration.
Visiting family versus exploring new places. I'm trying to decide where to go for my next vacation, visit my family or go somewhere new.
That's a tough one. Family is important, but exploring new places is so enriching.
Exactly. I feel guilty if I don't visit my parents, but I also crave adventure.
Could you combine them somehow? Maybe visit family for a few days, then take a side trip?
That's an interesting idea. I'll have to see if there's anything nearby that I'd like to explore.
Or maybe plan a trip with your family to a new destination?
That could be fun too. Lots to consider.
Choosing a travel destination based on budget.
I'm trying to plan a vacation, but my budget is pretty tight. Where do you suggest going?
Have you considered Southeast Asia? Countries like Vietnam or Thailand are incredibly affordable.
Really? I always thought those places were expensive to get to.
The flights might be a bit pricey, but once you're there, food, accommodation, and activities are very reasonable.
That's a great idea. What about Europe?
Europe can be done on a budget too, if you stick to Eastern Europe, or travel during the off-season.
Eastern Europe, like where?
Poland, Czech Republic, Hungary. Beautiful cities with much lower prices than Western Europe. Choosing a travel destination based on cuisine.
I want to plan a trip where the main focus is the food. Any suggestions?
Oh, that's a fun way to travel. Have you considered Italy? The pasta, pizza, and gelato are incredible.
Italy is always a good option. Anywhere else that's known for its cuisine?
Thailand is fantastic for street food and flavorful curries. Or maybe Mexico for authentic tacos and mole.
Thailand sounds tempting. What's the best way to experience the food scene there?
Take a cooking class to learn how to make some of the dishes yourself, and definitely try the street food. Be adventurous.
I'm definitely up for trying new things. Any tips for avoiding getting sick from street food?
Stick to stalls that are busy and seem popular with locals. That's usually a good sign of freshness. Choosing between a cruise and a land-based vacation.
I'm torn between going on a cruise and planning a land-based vacation. What are the pros and cons of each?
Cruises are great if you want to see multiple destinations without having to pack and unpack repeatedly. It's very convenient.
That sounds appealing. What about the downsides?
You usually only get a limited amount of time in each port, and excursions can be expensive. Plus, cruises can feel crowded.
Okay, and land-based vacations?
You have more freedom to explore at your own pace and immerse yourself in the local culture, but you have to handle all the logistics yourself.
Logistics can be a pain. So it really depends on what you prioritize.
Exactly. If you want convenience and variety, a cruise is a good choice. If you want more freedom and in-depth exploration, go for land-based.
Dealing with post-vacation re-entry.
I'm dreading going back to work after my vacation. I always feel so down.
I know the feeling. Post-vacation blues are real. Try to ease back into your routine gradually.
How do you do that?
Don't schedule a ton of meetings on your first day back. Give yourself time to catch up on emails and organize yourself.
That makes sense. What else?
Plan something fun for the weekend after you get back to keep the vacation feeling alive. Maybe a nice dinner or a day trip.
Good idea. Maybe I'll print out some photos from the trip and put them up at my desk.
That's a great way to remind yourself of the good times and keep the positive vibes going.
Exploring national parks in the U.S.
I'm thinking of doing a road trip to visit some national parks in the U.S. Which ones would you recommend?
That sounds amazing. It depends on what you're looking for. Yellowstone is incredible for geysers and wildlife.
Yellowstone is definitely on the list. What about something with hiking?
Zion National Park in Utah has some fantastic hiking trails, like Angel's Landing and the Narrows.
I've heard of Angel's Landing. It looks challenging. Any easier options?
Sure, the Emerald Pools Trail in Zion is a good moderate hike. Or consider Acadia National Park in Maine for coastal hiking.
Acadia sounds beautiful. Is it crowded?
It can be during peak season, so try to visit in the spring or fall for fewer crowds. Finding volunteer opportunities while traveling.
I'd like to combine my next vacation with some volunteer work. Do you have any experience with that?
Yes, I volunteered at an animal shelter in Costa Rica last year. It was incredibly rewarding.
That sounds amazing. How did you find the opportunity?
I used a website called Volunteer Match. There are also organizations like WWOOF for organic farms and Global Vision International.
Okay, I'll check those out. What should I look for in a volunteer program?
Make sure the organization is reputable and transparent about where the money goes. Read reviews from other volunteers.
Good point. I want to make sure my time and effort are actually making a difference.
Also, consider the time commitment and the skills required. Choose something that aligns with your interests and abilities.
Learning a local craft on vacation.
I want to do something more than just sightseeing on my next trip. I was thinking of learning a local craft. That's a fantastic idea. What kind of craft are you interested in? I'm not sure yet. Maybe pottery in Italy or weaving in South America? Pottery in Italy sounds amazing. You could find workshops in Tuscany or Umbria. I'll look into that. Do you think it's easy to find these kinds of workshops? Usually, a quick online search will turn up several options. Check reviews before booking, though. Good point. I want to make sure it's a reputable place. And ask about the level of experience required. Some workshops are for beginners, others for more advanced artisans.
Planning a multi-generational family trip. We're planning a vacation with my parents' siblings and their kids. It's a huge group. Any tips for planning a multi-generational trip?
Wow, that's a lot of people. First, choose a destination that offers something for everyone, from young kids to seniors.
That's the hard part. Any ideas?
A beach resort with a kids club, activities for adults, and easy access for older family members could work. Or a cruise.
A cruise is an interesting thought. What else?
Consider renting a large house or several condos near each other. This gives everyone space and allows for group meals.
That's a great idea. How do we handle different interests and activity levels?
Plan some group activities, but also allow for plenty of free time for people to do their own thing. Flexibility is key.
Travel with pets.
I'm thinking of taking my dog on vacation with me this year. Have you ever traveled with a pet?
Yes, I took my cat on a road trip last summer. It was an experience.
Any tips? I'm worried about him getting stressed.
Definitely get him used to the carrier or car beforehand. Shorter trips leading up to the vacation are helpful.
Good idea. What about hotels?
Make sure the hotel is pet-friendly and ask about any specific rules or fees. Book in advance as pet-friendly rooms can fill up quickly.
Okay. And what about food and water?
Pack plenty of their usual food and water, and don't forget bowls. Consider a travel water bottle for walks.
Visiting theme parks with teenagers.
We're planning a trip to a theme park with our teenagers. Any advice?
Definitely let them have some say in the planning. What rides are a must-do for them?
That's a good idea. They're mostly interested in the thrill rides.
Consider purchasing a Park Hopper Pass if you want to visit multiple parks. And definitely download the Parks app.
Why the app?
It will show you wait times for rides, show times for shows, and let you make dining reservations.
That sounds really helpful. Anything else?
Set a meeting point in case you get separated, and establish a budget for souvenirs and snacks. Choosing a destination based on interests. Art.
I really want to go somewhere with amazing art museums for my next trip.
Oh, that sounds wonderful. Have you considered Florence, Italy?
Florence is on my list, but I've already been. Anywhere else with a rich art scene?
What about Paris? The Louvre, the Musée d'Orsay. So many incredible museums.
Paris is tempting, but I'm looking for something a little less mainstream.
Maybe Madrid? The Prado Museum is is world-class, and there are tons of smaller galleries too.
Madrid! That's a great suggestion. I'll definitely look into that.
Choosing a destination for relaxation.
I really need a vacation to just unwind. I'm so stressed.
I hear you. What kind of relaxation are you looking for? Beach, mountains, spa?
Definitely beach. Somewhere quiet, with clear water and not too crowded.
Have you considered the Maldives? It's pricey, but incredibly peaceful.
Maldives sounds amazing, but a bit out of my budget. Anything more affordable?
Maybe some of the smaller Greek islands, like Milos or Foligandros, beautiful and less touristy than Santorini.
Greek islands. That's a great idea. I'll look into those. Thanks.
Comparing different types of accommodation.
I'm planning a trip to Italy, and I'm overwhelmed by the accommodation options. Hotels, Airbnbs, agriturismos.
Yeah, Italy has it all. Hotels are convenient, but Airbnbs can offer more space and a local feel.
I like the idea of having a kitchen in an Airbnb, but I also appreciate the services of a hotel.
Agriturismos are great if you want a rural experience, often with homemade food and wine.
That sounds lovely, but maybe not for the whole trip. I want to see the cities too.
You could mix it up. Stay in a hotel in Rome, an Airbnb in Florence, and an agriturismo in Tuscany.
That's a great idea. A bit of everything. Thanks for the advice.
Discussing cruise options. I'm considering a cruise for my next vacation. Have you ever been on one?
Yes, I've been on a few. They're great if you want to see multiple places without constantly packing and unpacking.
That's exactly what appeals to me. What kind of cruises have you taken?
I've done a Caribbean cruise and an Alaskan cruise. Both were fantastic, but very different experiences.
I was thinking Caribbean. Any recommendations on cruise lines?
Royal Caribbean and Carnival are popular, but it depends on what you're looking for. Some are more family-oriented, others more focused on nightlife.
Good to know. I'll do some research on the different cruise lines. Thanks.
Discussing glamping experiences.
I'm looking for a unique vacation idea. I saw something about glamping. Have you heard of it?
Oh yeah, glamping. It's like camping, but with more luxury and comfort. Think yurts or cabins with actual beds.
That sounds much more appealing than traditional camping. Where can you go glamping?
Pretty much anywhere. There are glamping sites near national parks, in forests, even on beaches.
So it's like a fancy cabin in the woods?
Sometimes, or a tricked-out tent with a proper bed and maybe even a private bathroom. It really varies.
Okay, I'm intrigued. I'll have to do some research on glamping sites near me.
Discussing the ethics of animal tourism.
I'm going to Thailand, and I'm seeing a lot of ads for elephant sanctuaries.
Be careful with those. Some are ethical, but many exploit the animals.
How can I tell the difference?
Look for sanctuaries that don't allow riding or bathing the elephants. They should focus on rescuing and rehabilitating them.
So observation only?
Ideally, yes. Also, research the sanctuary's reputation and read reviews from other travelers.
Okay, that's really helpful. I want to make sure I'm not contributing to animal cruelty.
It's great that you're being mindful. Enjoy your trip.
Discussing the merits of staycations.
I'm so burned out, I need a vacation, but I don't have the time or money for a big trip.
Have you considered a staycation? You can still relax and recharge without traveling far.
I've thought about it, but it doesn't feel like a real vacation.
It's all about mindset. Turn off your work emails, explore local attractions, and treat yourself to nice meals.
So, visit museums I've never been to and try new restaurants?
Exactly. Or book a spa day, go hiking in a nearby park. Anything that feels like a break from your routine.
Okay, I'm starting to see the appeal. A local spa day sounds amazing right now.
Planning a backpacking trip.
I'm thinking of doing a backpacking trip through Southeast Asia next year.
Wow, that sounds incredible. Where are you planning to go?
Probably Thailand, Vietnam, and maybe Cambodia. I need to start planning the route.
Definitely do your research on visas. Some countries require them in advance.
Good point. And I need to figure out what to pack. Light is key, right?
Absolutely. Invest in a good backpack and comfortable walking shoes. You'll be doing a lot of it.
Okay, backpack and visa research are top of the list. Thanks for the tips.
Planning a multi-generational family trip.
We're planning a family vacation with my parents, my kids, and us. It's going to be tricky to find something everyone enjoys. Oh, multi-generational trips can be tough. Have you thought about an all-inclusive resort? We considered it, but I'm worried it might be too boring for the kids. Some resorts have amazing kids clubs and activities, Or maybe a cruise? There's something for everyone. A cruise is an interesting idea. I'll have to check if my parents can handle the motion. Another option is renting a large house somewhere with a pool and activities nearby. That could work too. Somewhere with good walking trails for my parents and fun stuff for the kids. Thanks for the ideas.
Preparing for a hiking trip?
I'm planning a hiking trip in the Rockies next month. I'm a bit nervous. I haven't done anything like this before.
That sounds amazing. Preparation is key. Start with shorter hikes to build up your stamina.
Good idea. What kind of gear do I need?
Good hiking boots are essential, plus a backpack with water, snacks, a map, and a first aid kit.
Water and snacks, got it. What about clothing?
Layers are important, as the weather can change quickly. And don't forget sunscreen and a hat.
Layers, sunscreen, and a hat. I'll make a checklist. Thanks for the tips.
Choosing a cruise destination.
I'm thinking about going on a cruise next year, but I'm overwhelmed by the options.
Cruises are great. What kind of experience are you looking for? Relaxing or adventurous?
Probably more relaxing. Somewhere with beautiful scenery and good food.
Have you considered the Caribbean? Lots of different islands to explore, beautiful beaches.
The Caribbean sounds nice, but I'm a bit worried about hurricane season.
That's a valid concern. You could look at a Mediterranean cruise instead. History, culture, and amazing food.
The Mediterranean does sound appealing. I'll have to do some research.
Definitely check out different itineraries and see which one best fits your interests.
Choosing a destination based on interests, hiking. I really want to go on a hiking trip this year, but I'm not sure where to go.
What kind of hiking are you interested in? Easy trails or challenging climbs?
I'd say somewhere in between. I want a good workout but also stunning scenery.
Have you considered the Swiss Alps? Incredible views and well-maintained trails.
The Swiss Alps sound amazing, but probably a bit expensive.
Okay, what about national parks in the U.S.? Yosemite or the Grand Canyon are iconic.
I've always wanted to see the Grand Canyon. That could be perfect.
Just be sure to plan your trip in advance, especially if you're going during peak season. Dealing with limited vacation time.
I only have a week of vacation this year, and I'm struggling to decide what to do with it.
A week can still be plenty of time for a great trip. What are you hoping to get out of it?
I just want to relax and escape from work. Maybe somewhere warm with a beach.
Have you thought about an all-inclusive resort in Mexico or the Dominican Republic?
That sounds tempting, but I also want to explore a new culture.
Okay, then maybe a shorter flight to a smaller island in the Caribbean with more local charm?
That's a good compromise. I'll look into some smaller Caribbean islands.
Focus on minimizing travel time so you can maximize your relaxation time.
Dealing with travel scams.
I'm worried about getting scammed while traveling. Any tips on how to avoid it?
Definitely be aware of your surroundings and trust your gut instinct.
Easier said than done. What are some common scams to watch out for?
Overpriced taxi rides, fake police officers, and people offering unsolicited help are common.
Okay, I'll be wary of those. What about pickpockets?
Keep your valuables hidden and use a money belt or a crossbody bag that's difficult to snatch.
Good advice. Anything else?
Research common scams in your destination beforehand and be wary of anything that seems too good to be true.
Packing strategies for a business trip.
I'm dreading packing for this business trip. I always overpack.
I used to, but now I create a capsule wardrobe. Everything matches, so I can mix and match.
That's smart. What about shoes? Those take up so much space.
Limit yourself to 2 pairs max, comfortable walking shoes and dress shoes.
Good point. And what about toiletries? Do you check a bag?
No, I stick to travel-size containers and refill them. Save space and weight.
Okay, capsule wardrobe, limited shoes, travel-size toiletries. I'm writing this down.
And don't forget a universal adapter if you're traveling internationally.
Planning a family reunion vacation.
We're trying to plan a family reunion vacation, and it's proving to be a logistical nightmare.
Oh, I can imagine. How many people are we talking about?
Around 25 to 30, ranging from toddlers to grandparents.
Wow. Have you thought about renting a large house or villa somewhere?
We looked into that, but it's hard to find something that accommodates everyone comfortably.
Maybe a resort with different room options and activities for all ages?
That's a good idea. We need something with a pool and kids club for sure.
Definitely prioritize convenience and options for everyone. Good luck.
Planning a themed vacation, food.
I'm obsessed with food, and I'm thinking of planning a vacation entirely around it.
That sounds amazing. Where are you considering going?
Italy is the obvious choice, but I'm also intrigued by Southeast Asia.
Italy would be incredible for pasta and pizza, but Southeast Asia offers such a diverse range of flavors.
Yeah, I'm thinking street food tours, cooking classes, and visiting local markets.
Definitely research specific regions within Southeast Asia. Thailand, Vietnam, and Malaysia all have unique cuisines.
That's a good idea. I'll narrow it down based on the types of food I want to try.
Don't forget to look into food festivals happening during your travel dates.
Preparing for a long-term trip.
I'm planning a long-term trip, like several months. I'm feeling overwhelmed by the planning.
That's exciting. Start with the big picture: visa requirements, budget, and general itinerary.
Visas are definitely a headache. I'm trying to figure out which countries I can stay in, the longest without one.
Consider countries with digital nomad visas or flexible tourist visas.
Good idea. What about accommodation? Should I book everything in advance?
For the first few weeks, yes, to get settled. After that, you can be more flexible and book as you go.
That makes sense. I'm also worried about staying connected to the internet.
Look into local SIM cards or portable Wi-Fi devices. They can be much cheaper than international roaming.
Using travel reward points.
I've accumulated a bunch of travel reward points. Any tips on how to best use them?
Definitely. First, figure out what your priorities are: free flights, hotels, or upgrades.
I think free flights would be the most valuable.
Okay? Then check for blackout dates and availability well in advance.
Blackout dates are the worst. Is there anything else I should consider?
Compare the point value for different airlines and routes. Some are better deals than others.
That's a good point. I'll do some comparison shopping.
And don't forget to check if your points are expiring.
Visiting historical sites, respectfully. I'm planning a trip to some historical sites, and I want to make sure I'm being respectful.
That's great. Research the site's history and cultural significance beforehand.
Will do. What about clothing? Are there any guidelines I should follow?
Some religious sites require modest dress, covering shoulders and knees. Check the specific rules for each place.
Okay, I'll pack accordingly. What about photography?
Be mindful of signs prohibiting photography, especially with flash. It can damage delicate artifacts.
That makes sense. Is there anything else I should keep in mind?
Avoid touching artifacts, stay on designated paths, and be respectful of other visitors and local customs.
Choosing a destination based on interests. Music.
I'm planning a trip next year, and I want it to revolve around music. Any ideas?
That sounds fun. What kind of music are you into?
Mostly jazz and blues, but I'm open to anything with a good vibe.
New Orleans would be perfect for jazz and blues. They have live music everywhere.
New Orleans! I hadn't even considered that. What's the best time to go?
Spring or fall are ideal. Less crowded and the weather is great. Check out the French Quarter Festival in April.
That sounds amazing. I'll definitely look into that. Thanks for the suggestion.
No problem. Have a fantastic trip.
Choosing a travel destination based on interests. Hiking.
I'm planning a vacation centered around hiking. Where should I go? That depends on what kind of hiking you enjoy. Are you looking for challenging mountain climbs or more leisurely trails? I'd prefer something challenging, with amazing views. Have you considered Patagonia? The Torres del Paine National Park in Chile is incredible. Patagonia! That's been on my list for ages. Is it very expensive? It can be, but there are ways to make it more affordable, like camping or staying in hostels. Camping sounds perfect. I'll start researching trails and permits.
Comparing vacation rental platforms.
I'm looking at vacation rentals for my trip, but I'm overwhelmed by all the platforms. Airbnb, VRBO, Booking.com. Which is best?
It depends on what you're looking for. Airbnb is great for unique stays and local experiences.
Okay, and what about VRBO?
VRBO tends to focus more on entire homes, which is good for families or larger groups.
That makes sense. And Booking.com?
Booking.com often has a wider selection, including hotels and apartments, and sometimes better cancellation policies.
So it's really about comparing options across all three, based on my specific needs?
Exactly. Read reviews carefully on all of them.
Dealing with motion sickness on a cruise.
I'm going on a cruise soon, but I'm worried about getting seasick. Any tips? Definitely. Book a cabin in the middle of the ship, on a lower deck. It's the most stable area. Okay, that's good to know. Anything else I can do? Ginger is a natural remedy. You can take ginger capsules, drink ginger ale, or eat ginger candies. Great idea. I'll pack some ginger candies. What about medication? You can get over-the-counter or prescription motion sickness medication. Talk to your doctor beforehand. I will. Thanks for the advice.
Dealing with overbooked flights.
I just got bumped from my flight because it was overbooked. What are my rights?
That's frustrating. Airlines are required to compensate you if they bump you involuntarily.
Really? How does that work?
They usually offer compensation based on the length of the delay and the price of your ticket.
Okay, good to know. Should I negotiate with them?
Absolutely. Don't hesitate to ask for a higher amount, especially if it's causing you significant inconvenience.
What if I need to get to my destination urgently?
They should also offer to rebook you on the next available flight, even if it's on another airline.
Discussing the merits of all-inclusive resorts versus independent travel.
I'm torn between an all-inclusive resort and planning everything independently. What are the pros and cons of each?
All-inclusive resorts are great for relaxation and convenience. Everything is taken care of, and you know your costs up front.
That sounds appealing, but what about independent travel?
Independent travel offers more freedom and flexibility. You can explore at your own pace and immerse yourself in the local culture.
But isn't independent travel more expensive?
It can be, but it depends on your choices. You can save money by staying in hostels, eating at local restaurants, and using public transportation.
So it's really about weighing convenience and cost versus freedom and cultural immersion?
Exactly. Think about what's most important to you on this trip. Exploring local art scenes.
I really want to immerse myself in the local art scene when I travel. Any tips?
Definitely. Start by checking out local art galleries and museums. Many have free admission days.
Good idea. Anything else?
Look for street art tours or workshops. They're a great way to learn about the local artists and their work.
That sounds really interesting. How do I find those?
Check with the local tourism office or online forums for art enthusiasts. They usually have recommendations.
Perfect. I'll do that. Thanks.
Finding authentic local experiences. I'm tired of tourist traps. How can I find more authentic local experiences when I travel?
Start by avoiding the most popular tourist areas. Venture off the beaten path.
Okay, but where do I go?
Look for local markets, community events, and family-run restaurants.
How do I find those?
Ask locals for recommendations. They'll know the best hidden gems.
That's a great idea. I'll try that. Thanks.
Planning a themed vacation, wine. I'm thinking of planning a vacation around wine. Any suggestions for destinations?
That sounds fantastic. Napa Valley in California is a classic choice, with beautiful vineyards and excellent wine.
Napa is great, but I'm looking for something a little different.
How about Tuscany in Italy? The scenery is stunning and the Chianti region is world-renowned.
Tuscany, that's tempting. Are there many tours available?
Tons. You can find everything from guided vineyard tours to cooking classes focusing on pairing food with wine.
That sounds perfect. I'll start researching flights and accommodations.
Preparing for a long-term trip.
I'm planning a long-term trip, maybe 6 months or more. Where do I even start?
That's exciting. First, figure out your budget and how you'll sustain yourself financially.
Okay, budget is definitely a priority. What else?
Research visa requirements and any necessary vaccinations for the countries you plan to visit.
Right, visas. That sounds complicated.
It can be, so start early. Also, think about travel insurance and how you'll stay connected with family and friends.
Travel insurance is a must. What about packing?
Pack light. You'll be carrying your belongings for a long time. Focus on versatile clothing items. Choosing a destination based on interests, music.
I'm trying to decide where to go on vacation. I really want to go somewhere with a great music scene.
Oh, that's a fun idea. What kind of music are you into?
I love jazz, blues, and anything with a good rhythm.
Then New Orleans is a must, the birthplace of jazz. Or consider Nashville for country music.
New Orleans sounds amazing. What's it like there?
Live music spills out onto the streets, especially in the French Quarter. Great food, vibrant culture, and amazing music everywhere you turn.
That sounds perfect. I'm adding it to my list. Any other suggestions?
Austin, Texas is another great option, known as the live music capital of the world.
Choosing a travel destination, mountains versus beaches.
So where should we go for our next vacation? I'm open to suggestions.
I was thinking either the mountains or the beach. What do you prefer?
Tough choice. I love the peace and quiet of the mountains, but I also enjoy relaxing on a beach.
Exactly. Mountains offer hiking and amazing views, while beaches offer swimming and sunbathing.
Maybe we should consider what kind of activities we want to do. Are we looking for adventure or relaxation?
I think a bit of both would be ideal. Perhaps a mountain destination with a lake nearby?
That sounds perfect. We could hike during the day and relax by the lake in the evening. Comparing vacation rental platforms. I'm planning a trip and thinking of using a vacation rental instead of a hotel. Which platform do you recommend?
It depends on what you're looking for. Airbnb is great for unique properties and longer stays.
I've heard about Airbnb, but are there other good options?
Vrbo is another popular one, often focused on entire homes and good for families. Booking.com also has vacation rentals alongside hotels.
What about fees and cancellation policies? Are they similar across platforms?
Fees can vary quite a bit, so always compare the total cost, including cleaning and service fees. Cancellation policies also differ, so read them carefully before booking.
Good point. I'll make sure to do my research on each platform before making a decision. Coping with post-vacation re-entry. I'm back from vacation and feeling so unmotivated to do anything.
I know that feeling. Post-vacation blues are real. Try to ease back into your routine gradually.
Easier said than done. I have a mountain of work waiting for me.
Prioritize tasks and focus on the most important ones first. Don't try to do everything at once.
That's good advice. Maybe I should also plan something fun for the weekend to look forward to.
Definitely, or even just schedule some downtime to relax and recharge. Look at your vacation photos to relive the memories.
That's a great idea. Thanks for the tips. I feel a bit better already. Dealing with lost or stolen travel documents.
Oh no! I think my passport is gone. I can't find it anywhere.
Okay, don't panic. Retrace your steps. Where did you last have it?
I think I had it at the airport security check, but I'm not sure.
All right, first, report it to the local police. Get a police report. Then, contact your embassy or consulate immediately.
The embassy? What can they do?
They can issue an emergency passport or travel document to help you get home. The police report will also be helpful.
Okay, that's a relief. I'll do that right away. Thanks for the advice.
Of course. And remember, keep copies of your important documents separate from the originals in the future.
Dealing with overbooked flights.
I just got to the airport and they said, my flight is overbooked. What do I do? Okay, first, stay calm. Airlines often overbook flights. See if they're offering compensation for volunteers to take a later flight. Compensation? What kind of compensation? Could be a voucher for a future flight, cash, or even an upgrade on your next flight. Ask them what they're offering. And if I don't want to volunteer, then you'll have to wait and see if anyone volunteers. If you're involuntarily bumped, you're entitled to compensation according to the airline's rules and regulations. Okay, I'll ask about the compensation. Thanks for the advice.
Discussing glamping experiences. I've been seeing a lot about glamping lately. What exactly is it?
It's basically glamorous camping. Think of it as a more luxurious way to experience nature.
So like tents with beds and electricity.
Exactly. Or yurts, cabins, treehouses, anything that offers a comfortable stay in a natural setting.
That sounds interesting. Is it expensive?
It can be, depending on the location and amenities, but it's often cheaper than a hotel and provides a unique experience.
I might have to try that sometime. I like the idea of being in nature without sacrificing comfort. Planning a themed vacation, historical sites.
I'm thinking of planning a vacation centered around visiting historical sites. Any ideas? That sounds fascinating. Are you thinking of a particular region or time period? I'm leaning towards Roman history. Italy or even parts of Turkey would be amazing. Italy is fantastic for that. Rome, Pompeii, and Herculaneum are must-sees. You could even take a cooking class focused on ancient Roman cuisine. That's a great idea. I hadn't thought about incorporating food. What about accommodation? Consider staying in smaller towns outside the major cities. You'll get a more authentic experience and often find charming historical hotels. That's a good point. I want to avoid the super touristy areas as much as possible. Then definitely explore places like Ostia Antica near Rome. It's less crowded than Pompeii, but equally impressive.
Planning a themed vacation. Wine regions.
I'm thinking of planning a vacation centered around wine. What are some good destinations?
Oh, a wine vacation, that sounds amazing. Napa Valley in California is a classic choice.
I've heard that's great, but I'm looking for something a bit different, maybe in Europe.
Then consider Tuscany in Italy or the Bordeaux region in France. Both offer stunning scenery and incredible wines.
Tuscany sounds lovely. Are there other activities besides wine tasting?
Absolutely. You can explore medieval towns, visit art museums, and enjoy the delicious Italian cuisine.
That sounds perfect. I'll start researching wineries and accommodations in Tuscany.
Don't forget to book wine tours in advance, especially during peak season.
Using travel reward points effectively.
I have accumulated a ton of travel reward points. Any suggestions on how to use them effectively?
Definitely. The best value is usually for flights or hotel upgrades, especially for international travel.
I've heard that. But sometimes the blackout dates make it difficult.
True. Look for off-peak seasons or be flexible with your dates. Also, check for transfer bonuses to partner programs.
Transfer bonuses? I didn't know about those.
Yeah, sometimes airlines or hotels offer bonus miles or points when you transfer from your credit card rewards program.
That's a great tip. I'll definitely look into that. Thanks.
No problem. Just make sure to compare the cash price with the points redemption value to get the best deal.
Choosing a destination based on interests, art.
I want to plan a vacation, and I really want to immerse myself in art. Where should I go?
If you love art, Paris is a must. The Louvre, the Musée d'Orsay, it's endless.
Paris is definitely on the list, but I'm looking for something a little different, maybe less crowded.
Have you considered Florence? The Uffizi Gallery is incredible, and the city itself is a work of art.
Florence sounds amazing. What kind of art is it known for?
Renaissance art, primarily. Think Michelangelo, Leonardo da Vinci, Botticelli.
Wow, that's exactly what I'm looking for. Thanks for the suggestion.
Choosing a destination, mountains versus beaches. I can't decide where to go on vacation. Mountains or beaches?
That depends on what you're looking for. Do you want relaxation or adventure?
I like both. I enjoy hiking and exploring, but I also love soaking up the sun.
Maybe somewhere with both? Like the Amalfi Coast in Italy. Mountains and beaches in one place?
Wow, that sounds perfect. I'll look into it. What are the downsides?
It can be quite crowded, especially during peak season, and it's not the cheapest destination.
That's something to consider. Thanks for the suggestion. Choosing a travel companion. I'm planning a trip to Southeast Asia, but I'm not sure who to go with.
That sounds amazing. Who are you considering?
Well, my friend Sarah is really adventurous, but my brother Mark is more laid back.
Think about what kind of trip you want. Adventurous or relaxing?
I'd like a bit of both, actually. Some hiking, but also some beach time.
Maybe Sarah would be good for the hiking, and Mark could chill on the beach with you.
That's a good point. I'll have to think about who would be more flexible.
Also, consider who you can spend extended periods of time with without getting annoyed.
Comparing city breaks.
I'm thinking of taking a short city break. Have you been anywhere interesting lately?
I just got back from Barcelona. It was amazing. Great food, beautiful architecture, and vibrant nightlife.
Barcelona sounds tempting. I was also considering Rome. How would you compare the two?
Rome is steeped in history, much more so than Barcelona. But Barcelona has a more relaxed, beachy vibe.
That's a tough choice. I do love history, but a beach sounds nice too.
Well, the food in both cities is incredible. You can't go wrong there.
True. Maybe I'll just flip a coin.
Or research the average temperatures for the time you're going.
Dealing with lost travel documents.
Oh no, I think I've lost my passport. Seriously? Where did you last have it? I'm not sure. I had it at the airport, but I can't find it anywhere in my bag now. Okay, first, don't panic. Retrace your steps. Check everywhere again. I have, multiple times. I think it's really gone. All right, you need to report it to the local police and get a police report. Then what? Will I be stuck here forever? No, you'll need to contact your embassy or consulate to get an emergency travel document.
Dealing with overbooked flights.
I just got to the airport, and they said my flight is overbooked.
Oh no, that's the worst. Did they offer you any compensation?
Not yet. They just said they're looking for volunteers to take a later flight.
See what they're offering. Sometimes it can be a pretty good deal. A free hotel, meal vouchers, and flight credit.
Okay, I'll ask. What if I absolutely have to get to my destination today?
Then politely explain your situation and see if they can rebook you on another airline.
Good idea. I'll try that. Hopefully I won't be stuck here all day.
Planning a themed vacation, wine regions. I'm thinking of planning a vacation centered around wine. Any suggestions?
Oh, a wine tour. That sounds fantastic. Napa Valley in California is a classic choice.
I've heard it's beautiful, but maybe a bit cliché. Anything more off the beaten path?
How about the Douro Valley in Portugal? Stunning scenery and incredible port wine.
That sounds intriguing. What's the best time to visit?
September or October for the harvest season. It's busy, but the atmosphere is amazing.
Good to know. I'll start researching flights and accommodations.
Road trip playlist planning.
So we're hitting the road next week. Have you thought about music?
Absolutely, I've already started a playlist. What kind of vibe are we going for?
Definitely something upbeat and sing-alongable. Maybe some classic rock and some current pop.
Perfect. I've got plenty of both. I'll add some of my favorite indie artists too, if that's okay.
Sounds great. As long as we avoid anything too depressing, I'm in.
Deal. I'll also download some podcasts in case we get tired of music.
Excellent idea. That's a lifesaver on long stretches of highway.
Surviving long-haul flights.
I'm dreading my upcoming long-haul flight. Any tips on how to survive it? Definitely. Hydration is key. Drink plenty of water throughout the flight. Good point. I always forget to drink enough. Also, try to move around every few hours to avoid stiffness and improve circulation. I usually just stay glued to my seat. Big mistake. Get up and stretch. Walk around the cabin. And bring an eye mask and earplugs for sleeping. Those are essential. Anything else I should pack? A travel pillow, comfortable socks, and some snacks to avoid relying solely on airplane food.
Visiting historical sites respectfully.
I'm going to Rome next month, and I'm so excited to see all the historical sites.
That's great. Just remember to be respectful when you're visiting them.
What do you mean?
Well, dress modestly, especially when visiting religious sites. Shoulders and knees covered.
Okay, that makes sense.
Also, be mindful of noise levels. Some sites are sacred or have ongoing ceremonies.
Right. No loud conversations or music. Anything else?
Definitely don't touch or climb on any of the artifacts or structures. They're fragile and irreplaceable.
Booking accommodation.
I'm trying to book a hotel in Rome, but it's so overwhelming. So many options.
I know. It can be tough. What's your budget and preferred location?
Ideally, under €150 a night, and somewhere central, near the Colosseum would be amazing.
Okay, I'll check some websites I use. Have you tried looking at apartments on Airbnb?
I have, but I'm a bit hesitant. I prefer the security and amenities of a hotel.
That's fair. Let me see. There's a small hotel called Hotel Forum that might fit the bill. Good reviews and close to the Colosseum.
Hotel Forum? I'll look it up right now. Thanks so much for the suggestion.
No problem. Happy to help. Booking.com and Expedia usually have good deals too.
Dealing with jet lag. I am completely exhausted. This jet lag is hitting me hard.
I know, it's rough. Try to stay awake during the day as much as possible.
Easier said than done. My body thinks it's the middle of the night.
Drink plenty of water and avoid caffeine in the afternoon. That might help.
Good advice. I think I'll take a short walk outside to get some sunlight.
Definitely. Sunlight helps regulate your body clock, and try to eat meals at the local time.
I'll try my best. Hopefully, I'll adjust in a day or two.
Dealing with travel delays.
Our flight is delayed. Again?
Oh no! How long is the delay?
They're saying it's going to be at least 3 hours.
That's terrible. Did they say why it's delayed?
Something about mechanical issues. I hope they fix it properly.
Me too. Well, at least we have time to grab some food. And maybe find a comfortable place to sit.
Yeah, let's do that. I'm starving. Hopefully they'll give us some meal vouchers. Foreign currency exchange.
Where's the best place to exchange currency around here?
I think there's a bank a few blocks down that offers decent rates.
Is it better to exchange here or back home, do you think?
Usually you get a slightly better rate here, but it depends on the fees.
Good point. I'll check the rates at the bank and compare them online.
That's a smart move. And avoid exchanging at the airport if you can. They usually have the worst rates.
Okay, noted. Thanks for the tip. Lost luggage woes.
Oh no, I think my luggage didn't arrive. The carousel's empty.
Seriously? That's awful. Did you check with a baggage claim office?
Not yet. I was hoping it would show up on the next round, but I guess not.
Definitely head over there. Have your baggage claim tag ready. They'll need that.
Good point. I have it in my wallet. Hopefully they can locate it quickly.
Fingers crossed. I had that happen once. It was a nightmare. They found it a few days later.
A few days? I have important meetings tomorrow. I'll need to buy some clothes then.
Yeah, keep all the receipts. The airline should reimburse you for essential items. Navigating public transport.
Excuse me, Do you know how to get to the Eiffel Tower from here?
Sure, you can take the metro. Which station are you at right now?
We're at Châtelet, Les Halles.
Okay. Take the RERB line towards Robinson and change at Saint-Michel Notre Dame to RERC direction Versailles Chateau, Rive Gauche. Get off at Champ de Mars, Tour Eiffel Station.
Wow, that sounds complicated. Is there a simpler way?
You could take the Metro Line 1 to Charles de Gaulle Étoile and then transfer to Line 6 to Bergheim. It is a bit longer but less changes.
Okay, that sounds a bit easier. Thanks for your help.
You're welcome. Make sure to validate your ticket before entering the platform.
Planning a day trip. So, what are we thinking for a day trip tomorrow?
I was looking at Sintra. It seems really beautiful, with all the castles and palaces.
Sintra sounds amazing. How easy is it to get there from Lisbon?
Pretty easy, actually. There's a direct train from Rossio station that takes about 40 minutes.
Perfect. Should we buy train tickets in advance?
It's probably a good idea, especially during peak season. We can do that online tonight.
Great. And what do you want to see there? Peña Palace is a must, right?
Definitely Peña Palace. And maybe Quinta de Regalera. It looks really interesting with the wells and gardens.
Requesting directions.
Excuse me, could you help us? We're trying to find the National Museum.
Ah, the National Museum. Yes, it's not far from here. Go straight down this street.
Okay, straight down this street.
Until you reach the traffic lights, then turn left.
Turn left at the traffic lights.
Exactly. Walk for about 2 blocks and you'll see it on your right. It's a large grand building.
2 blocks on the right. Perfect. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Enjoy your visit.
Souvenir shopping.
I need to get some souvenirs before we leave.
Me too. Any idea what you're looking for?
Something unique to this region. Maybe some local crafts or artwork.
There's that market we passed yesterday. They seem to have a lot of handmade items.
Good idea. Let's head there. Hopefully the prices are reasonable.
It's worth a try. And don't be afraid to haggle a little. It's expected in some cultures.
I'm terrible at haggling. You'll have to do the talking.
Haha, okay. I'll give it my best shot.
Trying local cuisine.
I'm really excited to try some authentic Thai food while we're here.
Me too. Any particular dishes you have in mind?
I've heard great things about pad see ew and green curry. What about you?
I'm definitely up for trying pad thai, and I've always wanted to try tom yum soup.
We should find a local restaurant, not a tourist trap.
Agreed. Maybe we can ask our hotel concierge for recommendations.
That's a good idea. They'll probably know the best hidden gems.
Or we can just wander around and see what looks good. Sometimes the best finds are accidental.
Choosing a destination based on interests. Music.
I'm planning a trip, and I want to base it around music. Any ideas? That's a fun theme. What kind of music are you into? Mostly blues, jazz, and rock and roll. Okay, then New Orleans is a must for blues and jazz. Or maybe Memphis for the blues and rockabilly scene. New Orleans has been on my list for ages. What else? Nashville is great for country music, of course. And Liverpool, England is the birthplace of the Beatles. Liverpool! That's a fantastic idea. I hadn't thought of that. They have amazing Beatles tours and museums. You'd love it.
Choosing a destination for relaxation.
I desperately need a vacation to just relax and unwind. Any suggestions?
Definitely. Think about what relaxation means to you. Beach? Mountains? Spa retreat?
Probably a beach. Somewhere with turquoise water and white sand.
Then consider the Maldives, or maybe the Caribbean. Places like Turks and Caicos or Barbados are known for their beautiful beaches and calm atmosphere.
The Maldives sound amazing, but probably too expensive.
Okay, then maybe look at some smaller islands in the Caribbean, or even a resort town in Mexico, like Tulum.
Tulum could work. I'll look into it.
Just make sure to choose a resort or hotel that prioritizes relaxation and wellness. Look for spas, yoga classes, and quiet pools.
Comparing city breaks.
I'm trying to decide between a city break in Rome or Barcelona. Which would you recommend?
That's tough. They're both amazing. What are you looking for in a city break?
Mostly historical sites, great food, and a vibrant atmosphere.
Rome is unbeatable for historical sites, hands down. Colosseum, Roman Forum, Vatican City. It's incredible.
Wow, that's a lot of history.
But Barcelona has a unique architectural style, amazing beaches, and a really lively nightlife.
So Rome for history, Barcelona for beaches and nightlife?
Pretty much. And both have incredible food, so you can't go wrong there. Coping with post-vacation reentry.
I'm dreading going back to work after my vacation. I always get the post-vacation blues.
I know the feeling. Try to ease back into your routine gradually. Don't schedule too much for your first day back.
Good idea. I usually try to catch up on everything at once.
Resist that urge. Unpack and do laundry as soon as you get home so it's not hanging over your head. And look at your photos and relive the memories.
That's a nice idea. I should print some out.
Definitely. And plan something fun for the weekend after you get back, so you have something to look forward to.
Like a dinner with friends or a movie.
Exactly. Anything that will help you reconnect with your everyday life and keep the vacation vibes going a little longer.
Dealing with overbooked flights.
I'm worried about the possibility of my flight being overbooked. It's happened before. Ugh, that's the worst. Check in online as early as possible. That can sometimes help. I always do that. What if it still happens at the gate? Listen carefully to the gate agent's announcements. They'll usually offer compensation for volunteers to take a later flight. And if I volunteer, what should I ask for? Negotiate. Ask about meal vouchers, hotel accommodations if needed, and a confirmed seat on the next available flight. Maybe even airline credit for future travel. Good advice, I'll keep that in mind. And know your rights. Airlines are required to compensate passengers who are involuntarily bumped.
Finding authentic local markets.
I really want to experience the local culture on this trip. Any tips? Definitely hit up the local markets. They're usually buzzing with activity and offer a real taste of the region. Good idea. How do I find the best ones? I don't want to end up in a tourist trap. Ask your hotel staff or locals. They'll know the genuine markets. Look for markets where locals are actually shopping, not just selling souvenirs. That makes sense? What should I expect to find? It varies, but usually fresh produce, local crafts, spices, street food. It's a feast for the senses. Sounds amazing. I'll definitely check one out. Just be prepared to haggle a little, but always do it respectfully.
Learning a local craft on vacation.
I want to do something unique on my next vacation. Maybe learn a new skill.
That's a great idea. How about learning a local craft?
Like what? I'm open to suggestions.
Well, if you're going to Italy, you could take a pottery class in Tuscany. Or if you're in Thailand, learn how to make traditional Thai silk.
Those sound amazing. How would I find these classes?
Search online for local workshops or studios. Many offer short courses for tourists.
That's a fantastic idea. It's way more interesting than just sightseeing.
Exactly. And you'll have a unique souvenir to take home.
Planning a themed vacation. Wine regions.
I'm thinking of planning a vacation centered around wine. Any recommendations for wine regions?
Oh, that sounds fantastic. Napa Valley and Sonoma in California are always popular choices.
I've heard those are beautiful, but maybe something a little less crowded?
Then consider the Willamette Valley in Oregon. It's known for its Pinot Noir and has a more relaxed atmosphere.
That sounds interesting. What about international options?
Tuscany in Italy is a classic, or the Bordeaux region in France. The Douro Valley in Portugal is also stunning and offers port wine tours.
Wow, so many options. What should I consider when choosing?
Think about the type of wine you prefer, the scenery you're looking for, and your budget. Each region has its own unique charm.
Road trip playlist planning. I'm going on a road trip next month, and I'm already stressing about the playlist.
Oh, the playlist is crucial. Start by thinking about the vibe you want. Energetic, relaxed.
Definitely energetic. I want something that will keep me awake and motivated.
Then load up on upbeat songs from your favorite artists. Mix in some classic road trip anthems too.
Like what kind of anthems?
Born to be Wild, Life is a Highway, Sweet Home Alabama. You know, the classics. And don't forget to include some new discoveries too.
Good call. I need to branch out. Any suggestions?
Spotify and Apple Music have tons of pre-made road trip playlists you can browse for inspiration.
Visiting historical sites respectfully.
I'm excited to visit some ancient ruins on my trip, but I also want to be respectful.
That's great. Research the site beforehand to understand its significance.
Good point. I should probably learn some of the history.
Absolutely. And pay attention to any rules or guidelines the site has. Dress codes, restrictions on photography, that sort of thing.
Okay, I'll look for those. Anything else?
Try to avoid touching or climbing on anything, even if it seems sturdy. These sites are fragile.
That's obvious, but good reminder. Thanks.
And be mindful of noise levels. It's a place of history, so try to keep conversations respectful and not too loud.
Choosing a destination based on climate. I'm trying to decide where to go for our winter vacation. I need sunshine and warmth.
How about the Caribbean? Plenty of sunshine and beautiful beaches.
That's a good option, but I was also considering Southeast Asia, Thailand or Vietnam.
Southeast Asia would be amazing, but it can be really humid that time of year.
I hadn't thought about that. Maybe the Caribbean is a safer bet for consistent sunshine.
Plus, the water will be warmer in the Caribbean. Perfect for swimming and snorkeling.
Okay, Caribbean it is. Now which island should we choose?
Choosing a hiking trail. So, for our hiking trip in Colorado, which trail should we choose?
I was looking at the Hanging Lake Trail. It looks beautiful, but it's supposed to be quite steep.
Steep might be tough with my knee. Is there anything a little less challenging?
What about the Bear Lake Loop? It's relatively flat and offers stunning views.
That sounds perfect. Is it a long hike?
Not too long, about a mile. We could also do the Emerald Lake Trail, which is a bit longer but still moderate.
Let's stick with Bear Lake for the first day. We can see how we feel, and maybe try Emerald Lake later.
Choosing flight preferences.
Okay, we need to book our flights to Japan. Window or aisle seat for you?
Definitely aisle. I hate feeling trapped and needing to climb over people to use the restroom.
Makes sense. I usually prefer the window for the view, but it's a long flight, so aisle might be better for me too.
Plus, you can stretch your legs easier in the aisle.
Good point. And what about connecting flights? Direct or a layover?
I'd prefer a direct flight, even if it's a bit more expensive. Less chance of delays and lost luggage.
I agree. Let's prioritize direct flights then. Aisle seats all around.
Comparing hotel amenities.
I'm trying to decide between these two hotels in Barcelona. One has a rooftop pool, the other has free breakfast.
Rooftop pool sounds amazing, especially in the summer heat. But free breakfast could save us a lot of money.
That's what I'm thinking. The rooftop pool would be nice, but we'd probably only use it once or twice.
And think of all the delicious tapas we could buy with the money we save on breakfast.
True. The free breakfast hotel also has a gym, which is a bonus.
Okay, you've convinced me. Free breakfast in a gym it is.
Great, I'll book it now.
Discussing cruise excursions.
Have you looked at the shore excursions for our Caribbean cruise?
I have. There are so many options. It's overwhelming. What are you interested in?
I was thinking maybe a snorkeling trip and a visit to some historical ruins.
Ooh, snorkeling sounds fun. I saw one where you can swim with stingrays.
Wow, that sounds amazing, but maybe a little scary?
They say it's perfectly safe. They've been debarbed. But if you're not comfortable, we can skip it.
Let's look at the reviews first. And definitely book in advance. I heard they fill up quickly.
Good idea. Let's do that tonight.
Discussing glamping experiences. I was looking at different vacation options, and I stumbled upon glamping. Have you ever tried it?
Glamping? Like glamorous camping? I've seen pictures, but never done it myself.
Yeah, it looks amazing, like staying in a fancy tent or yurt with all of the amenities.
That sounds interesting. So you're still outdoors, but with a comfortable bed and maybe even a bathroom?
Exactly. Some places even have hot tubs and gourmet meals.
Wow, that's a far cry from pitching a tent and eating canned beans. Where were you thinking of going?
There's a place in Big Sur with incredible views. Or a yurt in the mountains with hiking trails nearby. Discussing pet-friendly travel.
I'm thinking about bringing Max on our trip to the coast. Do you think that's a good idea?
That depends. Is he good in the car for long periods?
He's okay, but he gets a little restless after a few hours. We'd need to make frequent stops.
And are there pet-friendly hotels or rentals where we're going?
I've checked, and there are a few options, but they're more expensive.
Also, consider the activities we'll be doing. Can Max participate, or will he have to stay behind?
That's a good point. Maybe it's best to leave him with a sitter this time. It might be less stressful for everyone.
Yeah, he'll probably be happier and safer at home. Discussing travel insurance coverage.
Did you get travel insurance for our trip to Thailand?
Yes, I did. I went with a comprehensive plan that covers medical emergencies, cancellations, and lost luggage.
Good thinking. I need to look into that. What company did you use?
I used World Nomads. They seem to have good reviews and coverage for adventure activities.
Adventure activities? Are we planning on doing anything risky?
Well, we might go snorkeling or hiking. It's better to be safe than sorry.
True. I'll check them out. Thanks for the recommendation.
No problem. Just make sure to read the fine print before you buy.
Planning a themed vacation, wine. I was thinking we should do a wine tasting vacation. Napa Valley or Tuscany.
Ooh, both sound amazing. Napa is closer and probably easier to plan.
True, but Tuscany has that old-world charm and incredible scenery.
And the food. We can't forget about the pasta and gelato.
Okay, you're swaying me towards Tuscany, but it's more expensive, right?
Potentially, but we can look for budget-friendly accommodations and wineries.
All right, let's research Tuscany wine tours and compare prices. Tuscany it is. Pre-trip excitement. I can't believe we're leaving for Italy next week. I'm so excited.
Me too. I've been dreaming about this trip for ages. Have you started packing?
Not yet, but I've made a list. I'm mostly worried about forgetting something important.
I always overpack. I'm trying to be more minimalist this time.
Good luck with that. I always think I need everything, then only wear half of it.
Exactly. Let's make sure we both have our passports and chargers. That's key.
Definitely. And maybe a phrase book, just in case my Italian is rustier than I think. Choosing a travel destination. City versus countryside. I'm trying to decide where to go for my next vacation. I'm torn between a bustling city and a peaceful countryside retreat.
That's a tough choice. What are you hoping to get out of the trip?
Well, in a city, I'd love to explore museums, try different restaurants, and experience the nightlife.
Sounds exciting, but the countryside offers a chance to relax, enjoy nature, and escape the crowds.
True. I do feel like I need a break from the city. Maybe a hiking trip would be good.
Exactly. Think fresh air, beautiful scenery, and a slower pace of life.
Okay, you've convinced me. Countryside it is. Now to find the perfect spot.
Choosing between all-inclusive and independent travel.
I'm debating whether to book an all-inclusive resort or plan an independent trip for my next vacation.
That depends on what you're looking for. All-inclusive is great for relaxation and convenience.
Yeah, not having to worry about meals and drinks sounds amazing.
But independent travel allows you to explore at your own pace and experience the local culture more deeply.
That's what I'm drawn to, but the planning can be a bit overwhelming.
True. Maybe a hybrid approach? A few days at a resort followed by some independent exploration?
That's an interesting idea. I'll have to look into that.
Dealing with a travel mishap.
You won't believe what happened. I missed my connecting flight.
Oh no! That's awful. How did that happen?
My first flight was delayed, and I didn't have enough time to make it to the gate.
Did the airline rebook you on another flight?
Yes, but it's not until tomorrow morning. I'm stuck at the airport overnight.
That's frustrating. See if the airline will provide you with a hotel voucher.
I'll definitely ask. Thanks for the advice.
Dealing with post-vacation laundry. I just got back from vacation, and I'm dreading the mountain of laundry waiting for me.
Ugh, I know the feeling. It's the worst part of coming home.
Where do I even start?
I usually sort everything first. Whites, colors, delicates.
That's a good idea. I tend to just throw everything in together.
Definitely separate them. And check for any stains before you start washing.
Okay, sort and check for stains. Wish me luck.
Packing for a specific climate. I'm going to the Amazon rainforest next month, and I'm completely overwhelmed by what to pack.
Okay, rainforest. Think light, breathable clothing that dries quickly.
Right, so lots of moisture-wicking fabrics?
Exactly. And long sleeves and pants to protect against insects.
Good point. What about shoes?
Waterproof hiking boots are a must. And bring some sturdy sandals for around the lodge.
Okay, boots and sandals. Anything else I should consider?
Definitely a good insect repellent, sunscreen, and a wide-brimmed hat. Pre-flight jitters.
My flight leaves tomorrow morning, and I'm starting to get really nervous.
Pre-flight jitters are totally normal. What's making you anxious?
I think it's a combination of things. The unknown, being away from home, and just the whole flying experience.
I get it. Have you tried listening to calming music or doing some deep breathing exercises?
I haven't, but that's a good idea. Maybe I'll download a meditation app.
Definitely. And remember to stay hydrated and pack some comforting snacks for the flight.
Thanks, that's really helpful. I feel a bit better already.
You've got this. Just focus on all the fun things you'll be doing on your trip.
The best travel gadgets.
I'm looking to upgrade my travel gadgets. Any recommendations?
Definitely a good portable charger. You don't want your phone dying in the middle of nowhere.
That's a must. Anything else?
Noise-canceling headphones are a lifesaver on long flights.
Oh yes, I need those. What about for taking pictures?
A lightweight travel tripod can be great for capturing stable shots, especially at night.
Good call. I'll add that to my list.
Travel journaling habits.
Do you keep a travel journal when you go on vacation?
I try to. It's a great way to remember the details and reflect on my experiences.
I've always wanted to, but I never seem to find the time.
You don't have to write pages every day. Even a few bullet points or a quick sketch can capture the essence of a moment.
That's true. Maybe I'll just jot down a few highlights each evening.
Exactly. And don't forget to include things like funny conversations or unexpected encounters.
That sounds like a fun way to look back on the trip later.
Unexpected travel companion. So, my sister just told me she's decided to join me on my trip to Italy.
Oh, wow. Was that planned or is it a surprise?
Completely unexpected. I was really looking forward to some solo exploration.
I can see how that would change things. Have you traveled with her before?
Not really, not since we were kids. I'm worried we'll have different ideas about what to do.
Maybe try to have a conversation beforehand and agree on some priorities.
That's a good idea. I'll try to be open-minded and see how it goes.
Who knows? You might end up having a fantastic time together.
Visiting family versus exploring new places.
I have some vacation time coming up, and I'm torn between visiting family and going somewhere completely new.
That's a common dilemma. What are the pros and cons of each?
Visiting family is comfortable and familiar, but I also crave adventure and new experiences.
Maybe you could combine the two. Visit family for a few days, and then take a short trip somewhere nearby.
That's an interesting idea. I hadn't thought of that.
Or you could plan a trip with your family to a new destination together.
A family trip to a new place. That could be fun.
Choosing a destination based on cuisine.
I'm thinking of planning a trip entirely around the food. Any recommendations?
Oh, that sounds amazing. What kind of cuisine are you interested in?
I'm open to anything, but I've always wanted to try authentic Italian food in Italy.
Italy is a fantastic choice. You could explore different regions and their specialties.
That's what I was thinking. Pasta in Bologna, pizza in Naples.
Exactly. And don't forget about the wine regions. Tuscany is a must.
Okay, Italy is definitely at the top of the list. Thanks. Choosing a travel destination, city versus countryside.
Where should we go for our next vacation? I'm torn between a bustling city and a peaceful countryside getaway.
Good question. What are you leaning towards?
I love the energy and culture of cities, but I also crave the relaxation of nature.
Maybe we could compromise? A smaller city with easy access to hiking trails?
That's a great idea, best of both worlds.
I'll do some research and see if I can find a place that fits the bill.
Perfect. I'm excited to see what you come up with.
Dealing with unexpected travel expenses.
Ugh, I just had to pay a hefty fee for overweight baggage. My budget is already stretched thin.
Oh no, that's the worst. Did you try rearranging your luggage?
I did, but it wasn't enough. I guess I overpacked.
Well, maybe we can find some free activities to do to save money.
That's a good idea. Free walking tours or visiting parks.
Exactly. We can still have a great time without spending a fortune.
Thanks for the positive outlook. Let's make the best of it.
Discussing favorite travel apps. What are some travel apps you can't live without?
Definitely Google Maps for navigation. And I love using Duolingo for learning basic phrases.
Good choices. I rely heavily on TripAdvisor for restaurant recommendations and reviews.
Oh, that's a good one. I usually just wing it with restaurants.
Sometimes that works, but TripAdvisor helps avoid tourist traps.
True, I should probably download it. Any others?
I use Skyscanner for finding cheap flights, and a currency converter is essential. Discussing travel photography.
Your travel photos are always so stunning. What's your secret?
Thanks. I try to capture the essence of the place, not just take snapshots.
I struggle with composition. Any tips?
Think about the rule of thirds and leading lines. They can make a big difference.
I'll try to remember that. And what about editing?
I use Lightroom to adjust the lighting and colors. Subtle changes can enhance the image.
That's helpful. I'll have to experiment more with editing.
Overcoming travel fatigue.
I'm so exhausted. This trip has been amazing, but I'm feeling really worn out.
I know the feeling. We've been go since we arrived.
Yeah, I think I need a day of just relaxing by the pool.
That sounds perfect. Maybe we can order room service and just chill.
Definitely. We can recharge before our next adventure.
Agreed. Sometimes the best part of a vacation is doing absolutely nothing.
Exactly. Let's make it a spa day tomorrow, too.
Oh, I'm in. That sounds amazing.
Pre-departure preparations.
Okay, we leave in 2 days. Are you all packed and ready?
Almost. I just need to finalize my packing list and double-check my documents.
Don't forget to notify your bank about your travel plans.
Good reminder. I always forget that. What about you?
I'm mostly set. Just need to download some movies for the flight and print out our boarding passes.
Smart. I'll do the same. It's always better to be prepared.
Agreed. Let's have an amazing trip.
Sharing a funny travel story.
You won't believe what happened to me on my last trip.
Oh, do tell. I love a good travel story.
I accidentally wore 2 different shoes all day and didn't notice until dinner.
No way. How did you not realize?
I have no idea. I was so focused on sightseeing, I guess.
That's hilarious. Did anyone say anything?
Finally, the waiter pointed it out. I was so embarrassed, but we all had a good laugh.
Trying a new sport on vacation. I'm thinking of trying surfing while we're here. What do you think?
That sounds awesome. I've always wanted to try it.
We could take a lesson together. There's a surf school down the beach.
I'm in! I'm a bit nervous, but it'll be fun to learn something new.
Me too. We'll probably wipe out a lot, but that's part of the fun.
Exactly. Plus, we'll have some great stories to tell.
Let's book a lesson for tomorrow morning then. Visiting historical sites.
This historical site is incredible. I can't believe how well preserved it is. I know, it's amazing to see history come alive like this. Did you read about the significance of this building? Yeah, I glanced at the information board. It's fascinating. I think I'll grab an audio guide to learn even more. Good idea. I might join you. It's hard to absorb everything just by looking around. Definitely. Let's meet back here in an hour to compare notes.
Capturing the perfect sunset.
I'm going to Santorini next month, and I really want to capture some amazing sunset photos.
Santorini sunsets are legendary. The key is to find the right spot and be there early.
Any recommendations for specific locations?
Oya is the most famous, but it gets incredibly crowded. Try Imeravigli or Fira for slightly less crowded options.
Good to know. What about camera settings?
Use a low ISO to minimize noise, a small aperture like f/8 or f/11 for sharpness, and a tripod for stability.
Okay, low ISO, small aperture, and tripod. Got it. Thanks for the tips.
Choosing the right travel companion.
I'm thinking of traveling to Thailand, but I'm not sure who to go with.
Choosing the right travel companion is crucial. Think about your travel style and theirs. Are you both adventurous or more relaxed?
That's a good point. I'm pretty laid back, but I also like to explore.
Find someone who shares those interests. Also consider their budget and tolerance for unexpected situations.
Budget is important. I don't want to be stuck with someone who wants to spend all their money on fancy hotels.
Exactly. Communication is key before you even book the trip. Discuss expectations and potential conflicts.
Okay, I'll definitely keep that in mind. Thanks for the advice.
Coping with travel sickness.
I get so carsick on long journeys. It really ruins the experience.
Oh, that's awful. Have you tried taking motion sickness medication before you travel?
Sometimes, but it makes me really drowsy.
There are non-drowsy options available. Also, try focusing on the horizon and avoiding reading or looking at your phone.
Focusing on the horizon. I'll try that. Anything else?
Ginger can help, ginger ale, ginger candies, or even ginger supplements. And make sure you're well hydrated.
Great tips. I'll stock up on ginger and try to keep my eyes on the road.
Dealing with annoying travel habits.
My brother chews with his mouth open, and I have to travel with him. What can I do?
Oh dear. That's a tough one. Direct confrontation might be awkward, especially on vacation.
Exactly. I don't want to ruin the trip.
Maybe try subtly mimicking him when he does it, hoping he'll become aware of it himself.
That's a clever idea. A gentle nudge without being accusatory.
Or, if it gets really unbearable, try eating at different times or in different places for some meals.
That's a good backup plan. Thanks for the suggestions.
Dream destination debates.
So, if you could go anywhere in the world right now, where would you choose? That's a tough one. I've always dreamed of seeing the northern lights in Iceland. How about you? Ooh, beautiful. I'm leaning towards a relaxing beach vacation in the Maldives. Just imagine the turquoise water. Maldives sound incredible, but I'm more of an adventure traveler. I crave something more active. Like what, hiking in the Himalayas? Exactly. Or maybe exploring the rainforests of Costa Rica. Okay, I can see the appeal. Maybe we need 2 separate vacations.
Finding authentic local markets.
I'm tired of tourist traps. I want to experience a place like a local.
Then you absolutely have to visit local markets. They're the heart and soul of a community.
How do I find them? I don't want to end up in another overpriced souvenir shop.
Ask your hotel staff or locals for recommendations. Look for markets that are frequented by residents, not just tourists.
Good idea. What should I look for when I get there?
Fresh produce, local crafts, street food, and most importantly, genuine interactions with the vendors.
That sounds amazing. I can't wait to try some authentic street food.
Learning a new skill on vacation.
I want my next vacation to be more than just relaxing. I want to learn something new.
That's a great idea. There are so many options. What are you interested in?
I've always wanted to learn how to surf.
Perfect. Head to Bali or Costa Rica. They have amazing surf schools for beginners.
That sounds amazing. Any other suggestions?
You could take a cooking class in Italy, a pottery workshop in Japan, or even learn a new language in Spain.
Wow, the possibilities are endless. Thanks for the inspiration.
The art of packing.
I always overpack. I'm terrible at it.
It's a common problem. Try making a list and sticking to it. And roll your clothes instead of folding them.
Roll them. Does that really save space?
It does, and it helps prevent wrinkles. Also, think about versatile clothing items you can mix and match.
Okay, versatile is key. What about shoes? I always bring too many shoes.
Limit yourself to 3 pairs max. Walking shoes, dressy shoes, and sandals, or flip-flops.
3 pairs. That's gonna be tough, but I'll try.
The thrill of the unknown.
I'm thinking of just booking a flight somewhere and figuring it out when I get there. Is that crazy?
That sounds incredibly exciting. But it depends on your personality. Are you comfortable with uncertainty?
I think so. I like the idea of spontaneity.
Then go for it. Just make sure you have some basic safety precautions in place, like letting someone know your general itinerary.
Good point. And maybe booking the first night's accommodation in advance?
Definitely. That way you have a place to land. After that, the world is your oyster.
Okay, you've convinced me. I'm doing it. Travel budget blues.
I really want to go to Italy next year, but I'm worried about the cost.
Italy can be pricey, but it's definitely doable on a budget. Have you considered traveling during the shoulder season?
Shoulder season. What's that?
It's the time between peak and off-peak seasons, usually spring or fall. Fewer crowds and lower prices.
That's a great tip. I'll look into it. Any other suggestions?
Definitely. Consider staying in hostels or guest houses instead of hotels and cook some of your own meals.
Good ideas. Thanks for the advice. Maybe Italy is within reach after all.
Choosing a travel destination, city versus countryside.
So where should we go for our next vacation? I'm torn between a bustling city and a peaceful countryside escape.
That's a tough one. What are you leaning towards? What kind of experience are you hoping for?
I love the energy and culture of cities, all the museums and restaurants, but I also crave the quiet and nature of the countryside.
Maybe we could find a place that offers a bit of both? Like a city with easy access to hiking trails or parks?
That's a great idea. Or perhaps a smaller town with a vibrant cultural scene surrounded by beautiful scenery.
Exactly. We could research some options that fit that description. What are some places that come to mind?
I've always wanted to visit Kyoto. It's a city, but surrounded by stunning gardens and mountains.
Kyoto sounds perfect. Let's look into it. We can weigh the pros and cons and make a decision together.
Choosing the right travel companion.
I'm planning a trip to South America, and I'm trying to decide who to invite. That's a big decision. A travel companion can make or break a trip. Exactly. I have a few friends in mind, but I'm not sure who would be the best fit. Think about their travel style. Are they adventurous, or do they prefer a more relaxed pace? Good point. One of my friends is super adventurous, but the other prefers to stick to touristy spots. Also, consider their budget. You want to make sure you're both comfortable with the spending level. That's a really important factor. I don't want anyone to feel pressured to spend more than they can afford. Ultimately, choose someone who you enjoy spending time with and who shares your travel values.
Packing for a specific climate.
I'm starting to pack for our trip to Iceland, and I'm completely overwhelmed. What do you even pack for Iceland in October?
Layers. Think lots of layers. The weather can change drastically in a single day.
Okay, layers. So thermal sweaters, a waterproof jacket?
Exactly. And waterproof pants are a must. Trust me, you'll want them.
Waterproof pants, got it. What about shoes? Hiking boots, I assume?
Definitely hiking boots. And make sure they're waterproof too. And bring warm socks.
Okay. Waterproof everything. Anything else I should consider?
A hat, gloves, and a scarf are essential. And don't forget sunscreen, even though it's Iceland. Pre-trip excitement.
I can't believe we're leaving for Italy next week. I'm so excited.
Me too. I've been counting down the days. I already started packing, just a little bit.
I haven't even started packing yet. I need to make a list. What are you most looking forward to?
Definitely the food. I can't wait to try authentic Italian pasta and pizza.
Oh yes, the food! And I'm really excited to see the Colosseum and the Vatican.
We should definitely take lots of pictures. This is going to be an amazing trip.
Absolutely! I'm already picturing myself sipping wine in a Tuscan vineyard.
The art of packing.
I always overpack. How do you manage to pack so light when you travel?
It's all about planning and being ruthless. Start with a list and stick to it.
I always make a list, but then I end up adding just-in-case items.
That's where the ruthlessness comes in. Ask yourself if you really need it. Can you buy it there if necessary?
I guess not. What about shoes? They always take up so much space.
Limit yourself to 3 pairs max. 1 comfortable walking shoe, 1 dressier shoe, and maybe sandals.
3 pairs, that's intense. What about rolling clothes versus folding?
Rolling definitely saves space and helps prevent wrinkles. And use packing cubes to stay organized.
The best travel gadgets.
I'm looking to upgrade my travel gadgets. Any recommendations?
Definitely a good portable charger. Lifesaver when you're out and about all day.
That's a must. What else? Noise-canceling headphones?
Absolutely. Especially on long flights. And a universal adapter if you're going abroad.
Good call on the adapter. What about for photography?
A lightweight travel tripod can be really useful for getting stable shots, especially in low light.
Okay, portable charger, noise-canceling headphones, adapter, and tripod. Anything else that's a game changer?
A good e-reader preloaded with books is amazing for downtime, and a luggage scale to avoid overweight baggage fees. Travel budget blues.
I'm trying to plan a trip to Europe, but the costs are adding up so quickly. It's making me stressed.
I know that feeling. Europe can be expensive. Have you looked into traveling during the off-season?
I considered it, but I'm worried about the weather being bad.
It can be a gamble, but you can often find much cheaper flights and accommodation, plus fewer crowds.
That's a good point. I'm also trying to find affordable accommodation. Hostels, maybe?
Hostels are great for budget travelers, or look into Airbnb outside of the city center.
I'll check those out. Thanks for the tips. I'm determined to make this trip happen without breaking the bank.
You got this. A little planning goes a long way. And remember, the best experiences are often free.
Travel journaling habits. Do you keep a travel journal when you go on vacation?
I try to. It's a great way to remember the details that photos sometimes miss.
I've been thinking about starting one. What kind of things do you write about?
Everything, from the funny things that happen to the amazing food I eat and my overall impressions of a place.
That sounds like a good approach. Do you write in it every day, or just when something significant happens?
I aim for every day, even if it's just a few sentences. It helps me stay present and appreciate the experience more.
I like that idea. Maybe I'll buy a small notebook before our next trip and give it a try.
Definitely do. You'll be surprised how much you enjoy looking back on it later.
Unexpected travel companion.
So, my cousin just told me he's thinking of joining us on our trip to Thailand.
Oh, really? That's unexpected. We hadn't really planned on a third person.
I know, I'm not sure how I feel about it. He can be a bit intense.
Intense how? Will he be okay with our planned itinerary, or will he want to do his own thing?
That's what I'm worried about. He tends to be very opinionated and wants to control everything.
We should probably talk to him beforehand and set some expectations. Maybe agree on some ground rules.
That's a good idea. I'll give him a call tonight and see what he's thinking.
Let's hope it works out. It could be fun or it could be a disaster.
Visiting family versus exploring new places.
I'm trying to decide what to do for my next vacation. Part of me wants to visit my family, but I also really want to explore a new country.
That's a classic dilemma. What's pulling you more in each direction?
Well, I haven't seen my family in ages, and I know they'd love for me to come visit. But I've been dreaming of backpacking through Southeast Asia.
Have you considered splitting your vacation? Maybe a shorter visit with family, followed by a solo adventure?
That's an interesting idea. I hadn't thought of that. It might be a good compromise.
You could also try to combine them somehow. Maybe convince your family to join you for a portion of your trip.
That's unlikely, but I could ask. Thanks for the suggestions. I have a lot to think about.
No problem. Just weigh the pros and cons and figure out what will make you happiest.
Choosing a guided tour. I'm thinking of taking a guided tour tomorrow. Any recommendations?
It depends what you're interested in. There's a historical walking tour or a food tour.
I'm leaning towards the historical one. Is it any good?
I took it last year and it was fantastic. The guide was very knowledgeable.
Great. Do you remember the name of the company?
I think it was called History Walks. Check online for reviews.
Will do. Thanks for the tip.
Dealing with language barriers. Excuse me, do you speak English?
Un poquito. Little bit. What you need?
I'm trying to find the nearest pharmacy. I need some medicine.
Ah, pharmacy. Down the street 2 blocks. Turn left.
2 blocks down, turn left. Thank you so much.
De nada. You welcome. Be careful.
I will. Thanks again.
Discovering hidden gems.
I found this amazing little cafe down a side street today.
Oh, really? What was it like?
It was so charming, tiny, with the best coffee I've ever had.
Sounds perfect. Anything else interesting?
They had these incredible pastries, and the owner was so friendly.
We should definitely check it out tomorrow. What's the address?
I'll show you on the map. It's a bit hard to explain.
Experiencing cultural differences.
Did you notice how everyone here eats so late?
Yeah, it's definitely different from back home. I'm starving.
Me too, and the greetings are so formal, all the handshakes.
It's all part of the experience, right? Embracing the local customs.
Definitely. I'm just trying to remember all the different rules.
Me too. I think I accidentally offended someone earlier.
Oh no, what happened?
Meeting fellow travelers.
Excuse me, are you waiting for the same tour bus to the waterfalls? Yes, I am. Finally, someone else. This wait is killing me. I know. I'm Sarah, by the way, from Chicago. Hi, Sarah. I'm Mark, from London. First time in this country? It is. And you? Second time, but the first time I didn't get to see the waterfalls. Really excited. Me too. Hopefully it's worth the wait.
Photographing landmarks.
This is an amazing view. I need to get a good photo.
I know, it's breathtaking. Try getting the light just right.
I'm trying, but there are so many people in the way.
Patience is key. Or maybe try a different angle.
Good point. I'll move a little to the left. Ah, that's better.
Perfect. Get a few shots just in case.
Done! Now your turn. Want me to take one of you?
Reflecting on the trip. Can you believe our vacation is almost over?
I know. It's flown by. What was your favorite part?
Tough question. Probably the hike in the mountains. The scenery was incredible.
Mine was definitely the food tour. I tried so many new things.
We definitely need to come back here someday.
Absolutely. I'm already planning our next adventure.
Me too. Maybe somewhere completely different next time. Renting a vehicle.
Did you manage to sort out the car rental for next week?
I did. Ended up going with Sunshine Rentals. They had the best deal.
Great. What kind of car did you get?
A small SUV. Should be big enough for our luggage and comfortable for the long drives.
Perfect. Did you get the extra insurance?
Yeah, I figured it's better to be safe than sorry. Especially with the roads here.
Good thinking. So we're all set then?
Trying adventure activities.
Are you nervous about the white water rafting tomorrow?
A little. I've never done anything like that before.
Me neither, but I'm excited. Think of the views.
True. I just hope I don't fall out of the raft.
They said it's perfectly safe, as long as we follow instructions.
Okay. I'll try to stay positive. Maybe I'll take some motion sickness pills.
Good idea. I'm sure it will be an unforgettable experience. Unexpected weather changes. I can't believe it's pouring. The forecast said sunshine all week.
I know, right? I only packed summer clothes. What are we gonna do?
Maybe we can find a shop that sells cheap raincoats.
Good idea. Or maybe a museum. Something indoors to kill time.
Let's check online for nearby museums. This rain is relentless.
Found one. A local art museum. Reviews are pretty good.
Perfect. Let's grab a taxi and head over there.
Budget-friendly travel tips. I'm on a tight budget. Any tips for traveling cheaply?
Consider traveling during the off-season. Prices are usually much lower.
That makes sense. But the weather might not be as good.
Look for free activities, like walking tours, museums on free days, or hiking trails.
What about food? Eating out can be expensive.
Eat at local markets and street food stalls. They're often much cheaper than restaurants. Cook your own meals if you have access to a kitchen.
Good point. Hostels have kitchens, right?
Many do. And consider overnight buses or trains to save on accommodation costs.
Dealing with culture shock. I'm feeling a bit overwhelmed in this new country. Is this culture shock?
It sounds like it. It's normal to feel disoriented in a new environment. Give yourself time to adjust.
Everything is so different from what I'm used to.
Try to focus on the positives and be open to new experiences. Embrace the differences instead of judging them.
Easier said than done, but I'll try.
Engage with locals. Talk to them, ask questions, and learn about their culture. It'll make you feel more connected.
That's a good idea. I've been mostly sticking to tourist areas.
Step outside your comfort zone. You might be surprised at what you discover.
Documenting your adventures. How do you usually document your travels? I want to be better at it.
I keep a travel journal. I jot down daily experiences, thoughts, and funny moments.
That's a nice idea. I'm more of a visual person, though.
Then focus on taking lots of photos and videos, but try to capture the atmosphere, not just the landmarks.
What do you mean by atmosphere?
Like the local people, the street art, the sounds, things that tell a story.
That makes sense. I'll try to be more mindful of that. Maybe even start a travel blog.
That's a great idea. It's a great way to share your experiences with others.
Finding authentic experiences.
I'm tired of the usual tourist traps. How do I find more authentic travel experiences?
Start by researching local blogs and forums. They often have insider tips on hidden gems.
That's a good idea. I usually just rely on guidebooks.
Talk to locals. Ask them for recommendations on their favorite restaurants, markets, or cultural events.
I'm a bit shy about approaching strangers.
Try joining a local walking tour or cooking class. It's a great way to meet people and learn about the culture.
A cooking class sounds fun.
Also, venture off the beaten path. Explore smaller towns and villages instead of just the major cities.
Learning basic local phrases. I'm going to Italy soon. Should I try to learn some Italian phrases?
Absolutely. Even knowing a few basic phrases can make a big difference.
Like what?
Buongiorno, good morning, grazie, thank you, and parla inglese, do you speak English?
Okay, I can remember those. Anything else for restaurants?
Il conto, per favor, the bill please, and acqua, per favor, water please.
This is helpful. Are there any apps you recommend?
Duolingo and Memrise are great for learning basic vocabulary and pronunciation.
Overcoming travel anxiety. I always get so anxious before traveling. I can't sleep the night before.
I understand. Try deep breathing exercises. They can really help calm your nerves.
I've tried meditation apps, but they don't seem to work for me.
Maybe try planning every detail in advance. Knowing your itinerary and having contingencies can ease your mind.
That's a good point. Uncertainty is a big trigger for me.
Exactly, and remind yourself of all the fun you're going to have. Focus on the positive.
I will try that. Thanks for the advice.
Safe travels, and remember to enjoy the journey.
Packing light strategies.
I'm struggling to fit everything into my carry-on. Any tips for packing light?
Definitely. Rolling clothes instead of folding saves space, and pack versatile items that can be mixed and matched.
Rolling, got it. What about shoes? They take up so much room.
Limit yourself to 3 pairs max, 1 for walking, 1 for evenings, and maybe sandals. Wear the bulkiest on the plane.
Good idea. What about toiletries?
Travel-sized bottles are your friend, or buy them when you arrive to save even more space.
This is all super helpful, thanks.
No problem. Remember to create a capsule wardrobe.
Solo travel safety.
I'm planning my first solo trip, but I'm also a bit nervous about safety. That's understandable. Always let someone know your itinerary and check in regularly. Okay, I will. What else? Be aware of your surroundings. Avoid walking alone in poorly lit areas at night. Trust your instincts. Good point. I tend to get lost in my thoughts. Keep your valuables secure and out of sight. Consider using a money belt or a crossbody bag. Should I learn some self-defense? That's never a bad idea. Also, familiarize yourself with local emergency numbers.
Sustainable tourism practices.
I'm trying to be a more responsible traveler. Any tips on sustainable tourism?
Definitely. Start by choosing eco-friendly accommodations and tour operators.
How do I identify those?
Look for certifications like LEED or Green Globe. Also, support local businesses and artisans.
That's a good point. I often end up buying mass-produced souvenirs.
And be mindful of your waste. Reduce, reuse, and recycle whenever possible. Avoid single-use plastics.
Okay, less plastic bottles. Anything else?
Respect local customs and traditions. Learn a few basic phrases in the local language and dress appropriately.
Travel insurance essentials. I'm not sure if I need travel insurance. Is it really necessary?
It's highly recommended. It can cover unexpected medical expenses, lost luggage, and trip cancellations.
Okay, that makes sense. What should I look for in a policy?
Make sure it covers your destination and the activities you plan to do. Check the coverage limits for medical expenses and lost belongings.
What about pre-existing medical conditions?
You'll need to declare those. Some policies may exclude them or require an additional premium.
And what if I need to cancel my trip?
Check if the policy covers trip cancellation or interruption due to unforeseen circumstances, like illness or natural disasters.
Airport security experiences.
Airport security. I always dread it. Me too. It's so unpredictable. Did you have any trouble this time? Actually, yeah. They flagged my toothpaste as a potential explosive. Seriously? What did you do? Had to throw it away. Lesson learned, travel-sized toothpaste only from now on. Good to know. I always worry about my liquids. I once had to chug a whole bottle of water to avoid throwing it out. That's dedication. I think I'd rather just toss it.
Choosing a cruise cabin.
I'm booking a cruise, but I'm overwhelmed by the cabin options.
I know. It can be confusing. What's your priority? View, space, or budget?
Probably budget, but I'd still like a decent view if possible.
Then, an ocean view cabin on a lower deck might be a good compromise. It's cheaper than a balcony.
What about inside cabins? Are they really that bad?
They're the most affordable, but they have no natural light. Some people find them claustrophobic.
Good to know. I think I'd prefer at least a porthole window.
Definitely worth the extra cost for the natural light and feeling less confined.
Choosing a travel destination, city versus nature.
I'm planning a vacation but can't decide where to go. City or nature?
That's always a tough choice. What are you in the mood for?
Part of me wants the excitement of a bustling city, but the other part craves peace and quiet in nature.
Well, cities offer culture, food, and entertainment. Nature offers relaxation, hiking, and beautiful scenery.
True. Maybe somewhere with easy access to both? Like a city near some mountains?
That's a great compromise. You could explore the city during the day and escape to nature in the evenings.
I think you've convinced me. I'll start researching cities with nearby hiking trails.
Dealing with annoying passengers. I had the worst flight ever. I was stuck next to the most annoying passenger.
Oh no, what happened?
They talked non-stop, took up both armrests, and kept kicking my seat.
Ugh, a triple threat. Did you say anything?
I tried to be polite at first, but eventually, I had to ask them to stop kicking my seat.
Good for you. Sometimes you have to be assertive.
I wish I had brought earplugs. Next time, I'll be prepared.
Finding local music.
I really want to experience the local music scene on our trip.
That's a great idea. It's a fantastic way to connect with the culture.
Any tips on finding good venues?
Check local event listings online or in newspapers. Look for smaller, independent venues.
Okay, avoid the big touristy spots.
Exactly. Ask locals for recommendations. Bartenders and shop owners are usually in the know.
Good call. I'll definitely ask around.
And don't be afraid to wander into a place that looks interesting. You might discover your new favorite band.
Lost in translation.
Remember that time we tried ordering coffee in Italy and completely butchered the pronunciation?
Oh God, don't remind me. I think I accidentally ordered a cup of dish soap.
The barista's face was priceless. At least we learned a valuable lesson.
Yep, a phrase book is essential, even for something as simple as coffee.
I'm thinking of taking a language course before our next trip.
That's a great idea. I'd be happy to join you.
Perfect. Maybe we can finally order coffee without causing an international incident.
Overcoming fear of heights.
I really want to go to the Grand Canyon, but I'm terrified of heights.
I understand. It's a common fear. Have you thought about ways to manage it?
Not really. I usually just avoid anything high up.
Maybe start small. Find a local hill or overlook, and gradually work your way up to higher places.
That's a good idea. Baby steps, I guess.
Exactly. And remember to focus on the view, not the drop.
Okay, I'll try that. Thanks for the advice.
You got this. The Grand Canyon is worth it.
Packing a carry-on only.
I'm determined to pack only a carry-on for this trip. Any advice?
It's totally doable. Start by making a list of essentials.
I always overpack. That's my biggest problem.
Choose versatile clothing items that you can mix and match. Neutral colors are your friend.
Okay, capsule wardrobe style. Makes sense.
And rolling your clothes saves a ton of space compared to folding.
Rolling. Got it. Anything else I should know?
Wear your bulkiest shoes and jacket on the plane. Every little bit helps.
Travel insurance snafus.
I'm so frustrated with my travel insurance company.
Oh no, what happened?
My flight was canceled, and I had to pay for an extra night in a hotel, but they're denying my claim.
That's awful. Did you read the fine print carefully?
I thought I did, but apparently the cancellation reason wasn't covered.
Travel insurance can be so tricky. It's important to understand exactly what you're covered for.
Definitely learned my lesson. I'll be more thorough next time. Trying street food. I'm so excited to try all the street food on our trip.
Me too, but I'm also a little nervous about getting sick.
Yeah, that's a valid concern. Any tips for staying safe?
Definitely choose vendors that are busy and have a high turnover of food.
Good point. Freshness is key.
And make sure they're cooking the food thoroughly. Avoid anything that looks undercooked.
Got it. Cooked, busy, and fresh. Anything else?
Trust your gut. If a place feels sketchy, don't risk it.
Comparing travel styles.
I prefer backpacking and staying in hostels. How about you?
Oh, I'm more of a luxury traveler. I like comfortable hotels and planned itineraries.
That sounds relaxing, but I enjoy the spontaneity of backpacking.
I can see the appeal, but I value convenience and predictability on vacation.
Do you ever feel like you're missing out on the local culture that way?
Not really. I find I can still experience it through curated tours and fine dining.
Interesting. It's good we both find ways to enjoy traveling.
Absolutely, to each their own, as they say.
Debating group tours versus independent travel.
Do you prefer group tours or independent travel?
I usually travel independently. I like the freedom to explore at my own pace.
I can see that, but group tours can be convenient, especially in unfamiliar places.
True, they take care of the logistics, but I find them a bit restrictive.
I guess it depends on the destination and your comfort level.
Exactly. For some countries, I'd consider a group tour for safety reasons.
That's a good point. It's all about finding what works best for you.
Precisely.
Debating the merits of all-inclusive resorts. I'm thinking of booking an all-inclusive resort for my next vacation. What do you think?
They can be convenient, but I find them a bit limiting.
Limiting how?
You tend to stay within the resort, missing out on local experiences and authentic food.
That's a valid point, but the convenience of having everything paid for upfront is appealing.
True. It depends on what you're looking for in a vacation. Relaxation versus exploration, perhaps?
Exactly. I'll have to weigh the pros and cons.
Discussing cruise vacations.
Have you ever been on a cruise? I'm considering booking one.
Yes, I've been on a few. What kind of cruise are you thinking of?
Maybe a Caribbean cruise. It seems relaxing.
They are. Just be aware that the ports of call can be very touristy.
Good to know. Are there cruises that focus more on cultural immersion?
Absolutely. River cruises in Europe often visit smaller towns and offer more in-depth experiences.
That sounds more like my style. I'll research river cruises then. Thanks.
Discussing eco-friendly travel options.
I'm trying to be more mindful of my environmental impact when I travel.
That's great. What are you doing differently?
I'm looking into taking trains instead of planes when possible.
That's a good start. Have you considered carbon offsetting your flights?
I've heard of it, but I don't really understand how it works.
Basically, you donate to projects that reduce carbon emissions to balance out your flight's impact.
That makes sense. I'll definitely research that. Thanks.
Discussing travel apps.
What are some travel apps you can't live without?
Definitely Google Maps for navigation and a good translation app.
Any specific translation app recommendations?
Google Translate is pretty reliable, but I also like iTranslate for its offline capabilities.
Offline capabilities are key. What about for finding deals?
Skyscanner for flights and Booking.com for accommodation. They often have good deals.
Great, I'll check those out. Thanks. Planning a road trip route.
I'm planning a road trip next summer. Any route suggestions?
Where are you starting from, and what kind of scenery do you prefer?
Starting from California, and I love coastal drives.
Then the Pacific Coast Highway is a must, San Francisco to Los Angeles.
I've heard it's beautiful, but is it very crowded?
It can be, especially in peak season. Consider driving it in the spring or fall for fewer crowds.
Good tip. I'll look into that. Thanks.
Recommending off-season destinations.
I'm looking for a vacation spot, but I hate crowds. Any ideas?
Have you considered visiting popular destinations during the off-season?
Like where and when?
Perhaps Rome in November? Fewer tourists and pleasant weather.
That sounds appealing. Are things still open?
Yes, most things are open, although some tours might have reduced schedules. Plus, prices are lower.
That's a great suggestion. I'll look into it.
Sharing memorable travel mishaps.
Tell me about a funny travel mishap you've experienced.
Oh, where do I begin? Once, I accidentally booked a flight to the wrong city.
No way. How did that happen?
I wasn't paying attention and mixed up the airport codes. Ended up in the wrong country even.
That's incredible. What did you do?
Had to buy a new ticket, of course. Cost me a fortune, but I laugh about it now.
I bet. At least you have a good story to tell.
Sharing travel bucket list destinations.
What's at the top of your travel bucket list? Oh, that's a tough one. But I'd say seeing the northern lights in Iceland. Wow, that sounds amazing. Why Iceland? The landscapes are breathtaking, and the chance to witness the aurora borealis is a dream. I can see that. Mine is visiting the Galapagos Islands. The wildlife there must be incredible. What fascinates you about it? The unique ecosystem and the opportunity to see animals found nowhere else on Earth.
Choosing a cruise itinerary.
Okay, so we're set on a cruise. Now, which itinerary should we pick?
I'm leaning towards the Caribbean, warm weather and beautiful beaches.
That sounds nice, but I was also looking at the Mediterranean cruise. Lots of history and culture.
History is interesting, but I really need a relaxing vacation this year.
The Mediterranean cruise does have some beach stops, and we could visit ancient ruins.
All right, convince me. What specific stops are you excited about?
Well, Rome, Athens, maybe even a Greek island or two. Think of the food.
Choosing a destination based on food.
I'm thinking about our next vacation, and I'm craving amazing food.
Me too. So where should we go based purely on cuisine?
Italy is always a classic. Pasta, pizza, gelato, endless deliciousness.
True, but I was thinking something a bit more exotic, like Thailand?
Ooh, Thai food is incredible. All those flavors and spices.
Exactly, or maybe even Vietnam. Pho Banh Mi, the street food scene is amazing.
Vietnam sounds incredible. Let's look into flights and accommodations there.
Comparing beach vacation preferences.
So, for our next vacation, beaches again? I'm thinking something different this time.
But I love the beach. What's wrong with relaxing by the ocean?
Nothing's wrong, I just feel like we always do the same thing. Maybe something more active?
Like what? Hiking. I prefer sunbathing and swimming.
Perhaps a beach with good snorkeling or surfing? Or maybe explore some nearby towns.
Snorkeling could be fun, as long as there's still plenty of time for relaxing.
Deal! We can find a place that balances both.
Comparing camping gear. So, about that camping trip, we need to upgrade some gear.
True, our tent is ancient. What kind are you thinking?
I was looking at a lightweight backpacking tent. Easier to carry on hikes.
That makes sense. What about sleeping bags? Mine is definitely not warm enough.
I saw some down-filled ones that are super compact and warm. A bit pricey, though.
Let's check out some synthetic options too. They're better in wet conditions.
Good point. We should also invest in a decent camping stove. Debating the merits of all-inclusive resorts versus independent travel.
For our anniversary, I was thinking an all-inclusive resort in Mexico.
I was hoping for something more adventurous, like backpacking through Southeast Asia.
But an all-inclusive is so relaxing. Everything's taken care of.
True, but I love the freedom of independent travel, exploring at our own pace.
I'm just worried about the planning and logistics. It can be stressful.
I enjoy the planning. It's part of the adventure. Plus, we get to experience the local culture more deeply.
Okay, you've almost convinced me. Maybe we can compromise?
Discussing staycation ideas.
We can't afford a big trip this year. Thinking about a staycation?
A staycation? That actually sounds relaxing. What did you have in mind?
We could explore some local museums we've never been to.
That's a good start. Maybe a picnic in the park too?
Definitely. And we could try that new restaurant downtown.
Ooh, yes. Let's make a list of all the things we've been meaning to do locally.
Great idea. It'll be like being tourists in our own city. Discussing the ethics of wildlife tourism. I saw some ads for elephant rides on our safari trip. What do you think about that?
Honestly, I'm a bit conflicted. On one hand, it sounds amazing, but is it ethical?
That's what I was thinking. I've heard some elephant rides mistreat the animals.
Exactly. We should research the company first to make sure they prioritize animal welfare.
Good idea. Maybe there are alternatives, like observing them in their natural habitat without interfering.
Yes, that sounds much better. Less intrusive and more respectful.
Agreed. Let's focus on ethical wildlife encounters.
Discussing train travel in Europe.
I'm really keen on doing a train trip through Europe next year.
That sounds amazing. Have you looked into the Eurail Pass?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out if it's the most cost-effective option.
It can be, especially if you plan to travel a lot, but sometimes booking individual tickets in advance is cheaper.
That's what I've heard. It's so confusing. Any tips?
Definitely research the routes you want to take and compare prices, and consider overnight trains to save on accommodation.
Overnight trains? That's a brilliant idea. Thanks.
Planning a multi-generational family trip.
Let's finally plan that big family trip we've been talking about.
Great. But where should we go that appeals to everyone from grandpa to the grandkids?
That's the challenge. Maybe a cruise? Something with activities for all ages.
A cruise could work. Or perhaps a resort with a kids club and adult activities.
We also need to consider accessibility for grandpa. No crazy hikes.
Definitely. And we should involve everyone in the planning process to make sure everyone's happy.
Good point. Let's send out a survey with some options. Preparing for high-altitude hiking.
I'm so excited about our hiking trip in the Andes. Are you ready?
Pretty much. I've been hitting the gym, but I'm a little worried about the altitude.
Me too. We need to acclimatize properly, drink lots of water and take it slow.
Right. And maybe get some altitude sickness medication just in case.
Definitely a good idea. Also, layering our clothes is crucial. The temperature can change quickly.
Okay. Layers, water, medication, anything else I should be aware of?
Sunscreen and a hat. The sun is much stronger at high altitude.
Got it. Sun protection is key.
Choosing a travel insurance plan.
I'm looking at travel insurance, and it's so confusing. What should I prioritize?
Definitely medical coverage, especially if you're going somewhere with limited health care.
Okay, medical is key. What about trip cancellation or interruption?
Worth considering, especially if you've booked non-refundable flights or accommodation. Read the fine print carefully, though.
Right, the fine print. Are there any common exclusions I should watch out for?
Pre-existing conditions are often excluded, so check that. And activities like extreme sports might require extra coverage.
Good point about the extreme sports. I'm planning on some hiking.
Then definitely double-check the policy covers that. It's better to be safe than sorry.
Dealing with altitude sickness.
I'm worried about altitude sickness on my trip to Peru. Any tips?
Acclimatize slowly. Don't rush to the highest point right away.
Okay, gradual ascent. Anything else?
Drink plenty of water. Dehydration makes altitude sickness worse.
Right, stay hydrated. Should I avoid alcohol?
Definitely limit alcohol intake, especially in the first few days. It can dehydrate you and worsen symptoms.
Are there any medications I should consider?
Talk to your doctor. They might recommend acetazolamide, but it's important to get their advice first.
Okay, I'll schedule an appointment. Thanks.
Dealing with seasickness on a boat trip.
I'm going on a boat trip, but I'm prone to seasickness. Any tips for avoiding it? Take seasickness medication before you board the boat, not after you start feeling sick. Okay, preemptive medication. Which kind is best? Dramamine or Bonine are common options, but talk to your doctor about what's right for you. Will do. What else can I do on the boat? Stay on deck in the fresh air and focus on the horizon. Avoid going inside and looking down. Fresh air and horizon. Got it. Should I eat anything specific? Avoid heavy, greasy foods. Eat something light and bland, like crackers or plain bread. Thanks for the advice. Hopefully, I'll be able to enjoy the trip.
Ethical considerations of animal tourism.
I'm planning a trip that involves seeing elephants, but I'm worried about the ethical implications.
That's a valid concern. Research the sanctuaries carefully. Avoid places that offer elephant riding or forced performances.
Good point. What should I look for in a reputable sanctuary?
Look for places that prioritize the animal's well-being, provide them with ample space, and don't force them to interact with tourists.
So observation from a distance is better than close interaction?
Absolutely. Ethical sanctuaries focus on rehabilitation and conservation, not entertainment.
Are there any red flags I should be aware of?
If they're using bullhooks or chains, or if the animal seems stressed or malnourished, that's a major red flag.
Finding authentic local markets. I really want to experience a genuine local market on my trip. Any tips for finding them?
Ask the locals. Hotel staff, taxi drivers, or even people you meet in cafes often know the best spots.
That's a good idea. I usually just rely on online searches.
Online reviews can be helpful, but they can also be misleading. Look for markets that cater primarily to locals, not tourists.
How can I tell the difference?
The prices are usually lower, and the products are more geared towards everyday needs rather than souvenirs.
Okay, lower prices and practical goods. Anything else?
Be prepared to haggle. It's often expected in local markets, and try to learn a few basic phrases in the local language. Learning survival skills for wilderness travel.
I'm planning a wilderness trekking trip, and I realize I know nothing about survival skills.
First, take a wilderness survival course. It's essential to learn basic skills like building a fire, finding water, and navigating.
Okay, a course is a must. What about gear?
A good quality knife, a first aid kit, a map and compass, and a water filter are essential. And learn how to use them.
Map and compass. I'm used to relying on GPS.
GPS can fail. Always have a backup. Learn how to read a topographical map.
Point taken. Anything else I should practice?
Learn how to identify edible plants in the area you'll be trekking, and practice building a shelter.
Overcoming fear of flying. I have a terrible fear of flying, but I really want to travel more. Any advice?
Start small. Maybe try a short domestic flight first to get used to it.
That's a good idea. I'm also terrified of turbulence.
Remember that turbulence is normal and rarely dangerous. Focus on the fact that pilots are highly trained to handle it.
Easier said than done. Do you have any coping mechanisms?
Distraction is key. Bring a good book, watch movies, or listen to music, and try some relaxation techniques like deep breathing.
Relaxation techniques. I'll try that. Thanks.
You could also look into therapy or medication if your fear is really severe. Don't let it hold you back from seeing the world. Packing essentials for a safari.
I'm so excited about the safari, but I'm completely overwhelmed by what to pack.
Think layers. Mornings and evenings can be chilly, but midday is scorching.
Right, layers. Neutral colors, I assume?
Definitely. Avoid bright colors and black. They attract insects and can scare animals.
Good to know. What about shoes?
Comfortable walking shoes are a must. And a hat with a wide brim.
Okay, hat, shoes, neutral layers. Anything else absolutely essential?
Binoculars. You won't regret having a good pair of binoculars.
Visa application hurdles.
Ugh, this visa application is a nightmare. So many documents.
I know, right? Which country are you applying for?
Vietnam. They need proof of onward travel, accommodation, and a detailed itinerary.
Onward travel can be tricky if you're not sure where you're going next. I usually book a refundable flight just for the application.
That's a smart idea. I was thinking of doing that. Did you have any issues with the application process?
Just make sure everything is exactly as they request. Small discrepancies can lead to rejection.
Okay, thanks for the tip. I'll double-check everything.
Good luck. It'll be worth it once you're exploring Vietnam.
Volunteering abroad responsibly. I'm thinking about volunteering abroad, but I want to make sure I'm doing it responsibly.
That's great. Research the organization thoroughly. Make sure they're addressing a genuine need in the community.
How can I tell if they're legitimate?
Look for organizations that are transparent about their finances and have a clear mission statement. Read reviews from past volunteers.
Okay, transparency and reviews. Should I be wary of orphanage tourism?
Definitely. Orphanage tourism can be harmful to children. Focus on projects that support sustainable community development instead.
What kind of projects are beneficial?
Education, healthcare, and environmental conservation are often good options. Make sure your skills and experience are relevant to the project.
Attending local festivals.
I heard there's a local festival happening while we're in town.
Really? What kind of festival?
It's a harvest festival with traditional music, food, and dancing.
That sounds amazing. We should definitely go.
I thought so too. It's a great way to experience the local culture.
Absolutely. I'm always looking for authentic experiences like that.
Me too. Let's check the schedule and see what's happening.
Choosing a destination based on interests. So, where are you thinking of going for your next vacation?
I'm not sure yet. I'm trying to decide based on my interests. I'm really into history lately.
Ah, that's a great approach. Have you considered Rome or Greece then?
Rome is definitely on the list. I was also thinking maybe Egypt, but I'm a little intimidated by the language barrier.
Egypt would be incredible. Maybe find a tour guide who speaks English fluently. That could help.
That's a good idea. I'll look into that. Thanks.
No problem. Have fun planning.
Choosing between hotels and Airbnb.
Are you staying in a hotel or Airbnb on your trip?
I'm torn. Hotels are convenient, but Airbnb can be more unique and sometimes cheaper.
I agree. I like the amenities of a hotel, like room service and a concierge.
But with Airbnb, you often get a more authentic local experience.
That's true. It really depends on the location and what I'm looking for in the trip.
Exactly. I usually check both and compare prices and reviews.
Good strategy. I might start doing that too.
Dealing with annoying tourists.
These tourists are so loud and disrespectful.
I know it's frustrating. Some people just don't understand cultural sensitivity.
They're blocking the view and talking over the tour guide.
Maybe we should try to move to a different spot, away from them.
Good idea. I'm trying to enjoy the history, not listen to their chatter.
Let's go. Hopefully we'll find a quieter corner to appreciate this place.
Agreed. Peace and quiet are priceless.
Dealing with pickpockets. Did you hear about what happened to Mark in Barcelona?
No. What happened?
He got pickpocketed, lost his wallet and phone.
Oh no, that's terrible. I'm always so worried about that when I travel.
Yeah, he said it happened so fast. He didn't even realize until it was too late.
I always try to keep my valuables in a money belt under my clothes.
That's smart. I might have to start doing that too. Thanks for the tip.
No problem. Better safe than sorry.
Dealing with travel sickness.
I'm feeling so nauseous. I think I'm getting motion sickness.
Oh no, do you have any medication for that?
I forgot to pack it. I thought I'd be okay.
Ginger can help. Do you have any ginger candies or tea?
I don't, but I'll see if I can buy some at the next stop. Thanks.
Also, try to focus on the horizon. It sometimes helps stabilize your inner ear.
Okay, I'll try that too. Hopefully it will pass soon.
Finding hidden beaches. I'm tired of the crowded beaches. Let's try to find a hidden one.
That's a great idea. How do we find one?
I've been reading some travel blogs. They often mention secluded spots.
Good thinking. Or we could ask some locals. They usually know the best places.
Let's do both. Blog research first, then ask around when we get there.
Perfect. I'm excited to discover a secret paradise.
Me too. Fingers crossed.
Learning a new skill on vacation.
I was thinking of taking a cooking class while we're in Italy.
That sounds amazing. What kind of cooking?
Authentic pasta making. I've always wanted to learn.
That's a fantastic idea. I'd love to learn how to make pizza.
We could find different classes and share our new skills when we get back.
I'm in. It's a great way to make the trip even more memorable.
Exactly, and we'll have delicious souvenirs to show for it.
Overcoming homesickness.
I'm starting to feel a little homesick on this trip.
Oh no, that's understandable, especially on a long trip. What do you usually do?
I usually call my family, but the time difference makes it difficult.
Maybe try finding a familiar food or activity. Like, if you love coffee, find a good coffee shop.
That's a good idea. Or maybe watch a movie I've seen a million times.
Exactly. Anything to bring a little comfort and familiarity.
Thanks, I'll try that. It's just hard being away from everyone.
I know. But you're making amazing memories. It'll pass.
Visiting historical sites with kids.
I'm worried the kids will get bored visiting all these historical sites.
I understand. Maybe we can make it more engaging for them?
How? I don't want them just running around and being disruptive.
We could find interactive tours geared towards kids, or even create a scavenger hunt.
Scavenger hunt. That's a great idea. We could research beforehand and make it educational.
Exactly. And maybe promise them a treat afterwards if they participate well.
Okay. I'm feeling much better about it now. Thanks for the suggestions.
No problem. It'll be a fun learning experience for everyone.